live from the Tottenham Boulevard. We are leaving from the second belt. That's the junction, and then we are heading to the 540 belt. So the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Transport, in collaboration with the Liberian National Police, are making inspections on vehicles. So as a result of that, you have huge traffic along the Tottenham Boulevard Road. So we are leaving from the Boulevard Junction Belt, getting to the main area, to the 540 junction area. So once we get at the 540 belt, that's 540 junction, around the Peace Island area, we will get down and show you exactly But so if you are leaving from the Pinsville belt coming to town, you see the main road, that's the Tottenham Boulevard. Please be aware that there's a huge traffic and vehicle inspection is ongoing. All right. So we are just around the second building along the Tottenham Boulevard. So the government of Liberia is inspecting vehicles across Monrovia. This is Spoon TV, and I'm Sylvester Chiloply. We thought it wise to bring you exactly what is unfolding in the Rantown. Alright, so once we get to the 540 junction belt, then we will get down to show you exactly. But you see me running fast because I'm on back. But there is a huge traffic though. So please make sure before getting on this road that your vehicle is in tight in terms of having all of the appropriate documents. Make sure the vehicle belongs to you. And that you are clear with the Liberian government. So, so you see, vehicles are all here at the park alone. The fun with the promenade. So folks, we are getting down here, so you can see it. See, vehicles are packed and this might be due to the inspection. We'll be talking to maybe a name. So here we have vehicles parked while inspection is ongoing. So on the way from the Boulevard Junction all the way here, you have huge traffic, and this is due to the inspection that is ongoing by the Liberian government through the Ministry of Transport in collaboration with the Liberian National Police. So once a vehicle is passing and the folks from the transport and LNP do not certify with your vehicle, they'll pack you off, asking for your documents. Asking for your documents, and then once you produce your document correctly, you go home.
Criminal code B.
Let's go. God will punish you. You will die. Your eyes will be open. For what you did to me and the shit you caused my family and I, you will suffer. I curse you. You will suffer. You will die. Your generation will bear the consequence of what you did. You will suffer, Lucas. You will suffer. In any church and lawyers, in any church and lawyers, I got you as well. The children will suffer this thing. The children will bear the consequence of what you did.
That was Jessica Lloyd saying her piece, knowing that she has just lost.
Okay, folks, right away to welcome you. I'd like to say welcome to all of you across the world, across Liberia, on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5 FM. I want to say thanks to the folks across the country that are always here with us at about this time to talk about Liberia, to share their views on the issues unfolding in the country, to talk about the happenings, to make their contributions to the national discourse. This is what we do here every single day on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. And I'd like to say welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. As usual, the rest of the team is coming on. We're going to serve you for the next 2 hours, making sure that We bring you critical analysis on the unfoldings in the country, bring you up to speed with what's happening in Liberia, and a lot more to talk about here today. So welcome to the show. Let me welcome our folks in Radio Land, the people who get to hear us. They don't see us, but the few part of the broadcast every single step along the way. We appreciate you, of course, our online audience. I see the comments are coming in. Yes, thanks to you. As you know, we're always live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Our handle is Spoon Talk Live. We're also live on Facebook. And so the Facebook handle is Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. Thanks to all of you who have joined us from there already. As we get ready to start the show tonight, let me recognize a few of you in the comment section here tonight. Thanks for joining us on the show. So I see yes, I want to start from somewhere. I want to take off from somewhere and then we get to where we are. But just get glued to your radio. Kindly share the program as you join us tonight. It's going to be a great show. A fascinating discussion coming up tonight. A lot to talk about. Too many things happening in the country. It's just very important that we get to talk about those issues here tonight. And I want to say thanks to every single person for joining us. And yes, as usual, kindly share the program as you join us. Let's have a great show, a great discussion up here tonight. Lots of things happening in the country. Too many things happening. Let me just welcome a few of you. Then I'll go on to bring the updates. After which we get our team to do their openings, and then we go straight into the show. Okay, so let's begin with this. I see Nathaniel K. Hill is here. Nathaniel, thanks for joining us. Nathaniel Hill was the first to get on the show today. He's following via YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Nathaniel K. Hill. We appreciate you. J. Alaska Peters is following as usual from Soul Clinic, he says. Saliet Vincent is also following the show. I want to say thanks for joining us, Saliet. Thanks for being here tonight. Okay, so Saliet said, looking forward to a great show. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us, Saliet. Let's see. I see Sam Waryu is following. J. Alaska is back. Harriet Harris is following the show tonight from Old Road. Thanks for joining. John Obelli is following from the US. Thanks for joining tonight. Moses Momolu, I see you're also here tonight following the show. Moses, thanks for joining. You joining us from Iowa, the US. Thanks for joining us. War Robot Player. War Robot Player. Wow, what a name. Thanks for joining us tonight. War Robot Player. Yeah. I see Alice Band is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Miss Mazina Mason. Yes. Oh, you said Tuesday is your birthday. Happy pre-birthday to you. We wish you all the best as you get set to celebrate another Nature Day. Thanks for being here tonight and always joining us. Yeah. And thanks for being Vasco's fan. You know. I see Winker Windell is here. He says Johnny from Pinzi City. From Hammerfield. That's somewhere in the Dupero area. But thanks for joining us. Solomon P is joining us tonight. M. Aliu Barry. I see Asata Odosi, Favor Johnson. I see Augustine Saki. Yes, thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Prince Sisse. I see Victor Ballo is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Said you're joining from Grand Cape Mount County. Thanks for joining us from that end. Yes, Grand Cape Mount is in the building. I see I see Mo Dolly. Mo Dolly is joining us. He said, Nelson, you never call my name. It should be Mo Dolly. Mo Dolly, thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate you. And yes, so thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. It's gonna be a great show. Let me bring you the updates here quickly. Let me try to bring you the updates. But while I try to do that, let me get just this one. Okay, so I want to get the updates coming up for you quickly. Let me do this.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
Tools the spoon to get your information. Tools the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. There's the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know.
Okay, so you want to get the news update, just tune to Spoon. This is where you get all of the updates with respect to happenings in the country. So thanks for being here again tonight. So what are the updates? What are some of the things happening in the country? What are Liberians talking about? What are the issues that are making their up in the news? What are the trending issues? And of course, let's go through some of those happenings quickly as we get set to start the show. So, um, today, I say today because today is the 23rd day of April here in Liberia. Now it depends where you are, but here in Liberia today is the 23rd day of the year of April. Sorry. So today, April 23, or the 23rd day of April, has been declared by proclamation by President Joseph Numa Boakai as by-election day to be observed as a national holiday only in Nima County and Electoral District number 1, Grand Juda County. And so for Nima County, the entire county is observing today as a national holiday. As a holiday throughout the county. For the entire Nima County, today is a holiday. So for the people in Grand Juda County, precisely in Electoral District number 1, today is a holiday there for them. So what that means is the kids in Electoral District number 1, Grand Juda County, are not going to school today because the president has declared this day a national holiday. They're not going to school today because of the election. The entire county, Nima County itself, is observing this day as a holiday throughout the county. So the holiday starts from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. Holiday throughout the county. And of course, the people in those two counties will be voting. There'll be a serious voting going on. They'll be deciding as to who become the representative in district number electoral district number 1, Grand Gila County, replacing the former lawmaker, the Madison Graham. Of course, era Madison Graham, he will be replaced in that by-election. So they will be deciding as to who replaces the lawmaker. And then in district, in the entire Nima County now, that's for the senatorial election, um, they will be trying to replace the vice president now. Remember, he was senator of the county before being elected as vice president of the entire country. So there's a by-election going in those two places. There are by-elections going on there, and the people of those two counties will be deciding. But let me bring Francis and Soiree on. I see the two gentlemen are in the background as I continue with the update. Francis, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on. And I see, sorry, you gotta work on your lighting, your background, or whatever. It's it seemed 1822. That's how. In fact, I'm hearing myself in the background. Yeah. So that is for Nimba County and Grand Gila counties. So another thing that's been in the news has been some read up that the lawmaker of District 7, Nima County, Mr. Musa Hassan Bilidi, a read up he made. And he described the Liberian legislature as a hub of money launderers, threatening a lawsuit against the General Auditing Commission if it fails to audit the legislature. And according to the Nima County District 7 representative, Mr. Musa Hassan Bilidi, he has described the legislature as a hub of money launderers in Liberia. According to him, that place receives the highest amount of money in the country and has refused to be audited. So he wants the General Auditing Commission to audit the legislature. And if the GAC refuses or fails to audit the legislature, then he will file a lawsuit. And he even went on to describe the very GAC as a corrupt institution that has allegedly failed to properly exercise its mandate. Well, this is coming from the Nimba County District 7 Representative Honorable Musa Hassan Belidi, the chairman, of the the former chairman of the CPP, now fashion of the Liberty Party. That's what he says. We're going to pull up that read up. We will have that read up at some point along the show so our folks can pick up some pieces from it, and let's see how it turns out. Let's see what it is and all of that. So we will get it coming up here. Well, there were 115 tourists that arrived in the country today ahead of this year's African tour, the Sheriff 2024. Liberia is about to benefit from this, and so some of the tourists came to the country. 115 of them. They've been touring parts of the country. Specifically, one of the key areas they visited was the Unification Park. I don't know. I did a photo at the Unification Park that I will share. Too early. The Unification, the entire spelling of the Unification, the UNI. No, not the UNI. I'll put that photo up. 3 letters in the Unification is out, and in the park Okay, so it goes by the name Unification Squad. So some letters in the unification. Okay, so NATRON is out. Where you have the squad SQUARE. The A the A and the R is also out. So that speaks to the issue of maintenance as well. We'll put that up. But this is where we are basically. There has been some nominations made in government. I think most of you are aware. But I don't know. One of the nominations that has taken the airways and a lot of people making analysis about. This is interesting. This is interesting. You know, Liberia is an interesting country, and at the end of the day, we that's why a platform like this is very important, so that we can all make sense of what's happening in the country. Um, Mr. Kibit nomination to serve today as his appointment, in fact, to serve as ambassador at large for youth and sports development is something that's taking the airwaves. And of course, that's something people have been talking about as well in the country. The motorcyclists again today took onto the streets. They staged a protest, and again their protest is in response of the no-go zone, the latest restrictions that was being announced by the government, expected to take effect on the 15th of May. And so we're looking forward to how that goes. But the cyclists were in the streets today, and in fact, some of them. We want to see if we can speak to some of the guys today, because you all remember on the last edition of the show. No, that was not the last. The one before the last edition we had last week. One of the guys on the show, we had three individuals. One from civil society, one from the uh, other group, John Kenyon and his group from uh, Nafrontat, and you had the other group, and both groups were accusing each other of being aligned with a political party and all of that. But the guy who was on the line, Harris Colley, the group that staged the protest today, information we've gathered is that is the group that belongs to Harris Colley. Remember on the show, John Kenyon accused Harris Colley of being aligned with the CDC. Harris Colley accused John Kenyon of being aligned with the Unity Party. He even went as far as saying that, in fact, the chairman of the Unity Party, Chairman Tape, is a board member of the group that John Kenyon belonged to. So there was that back and forth. But one thing I captured from his presentation was that he said that they were going to engage the government, but protest was never going to be a way forward. How did it get to the point where they had to take onto the streets today? So we're going to connect with him. We're looking forward to talking with him as well. Plus other things happening in the country. But let's go ahead and do our opening quickly, and then we get set to start the show. Francis?
Yeah, good morning, Nelson. Good morning to our folks in Liberia.
That's why it's frozen.
Good. Nelson, am I frozen?
Yeah. No, I can see you.
Okay, sorry.
Francis, network is frozen.
Francis is good. Sorry,
need to fix the network. But however, let me just go ahead. Good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening to our folks in the US and wherever you are. Good afternoon. It's good to be here.
When you call his name, he's not talking there.
Sorry, please mute.
Sorry. Just go out and try to come back. You know, you know. Look, Francis, you will do your opening, right? But there was this day I was somewhere, and someone said to me, the person said, Nelson, Do you know that the people who are mentally ill that you see walking around in the street, when they see us in clean clothes, they can think say we're not correct. And why we see them in direct clothes, we say the people are not correct. But when the people see us in clean clothes, they think say we're not correct, so they're not okay with us. So I just laugh about it, but that's something similar. The man has network problem, but he's telling you that you are the one who.
I'm the one with the issue.
But go ahead, man. Let's hear you.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. And like you rightly pointed out, there are a lot of there are a lot there are a lot of things going on, and I can't wait to get into it, especially that alleged appointment. I mean, it's on the executive management sheet. His signature is on it. So that appointment of the U.S. Sport Ambassador, that Senegalese, if it is true, I mean, okay, I would just say it's true. That's embarrassing to us, but there's a lot to talk about on that end. So I'm not going to take up much time. I'm eager to get into the discussion. Nothing frozen too. We're not. That's sorry, and that's what the internet issue today. Go ahead, sorry. Do your opening on the one for Nelson.
You know what happened is, when I came, I wanted to switch to the house Wi-Fi because that is more stronger than my phone when I'm on the computer, right? So while switching, I didn't identify that the screen live could take time before I get on the screen live. So I had to go on and come back in. So that's why I'm not seeing you. But it's good to be your friends. And like you said, we are here to discuss Liberia. And I think it was a good weekend over the past period of time. There's a lot to be discussed. As always, we can say Liberia will make progress, but in which way Liberia makes progress, we as supporter, we as Liberians who feel that Liberia should make progress from a patriotic or a nationalistic standpoint, we should always be here to critique some of the things that we think it is not right by putting our government onto the path that we are to see them. So I think I believe it's going to be a great show. Like you talk about the appointment and other stuff that Nelson listed. We are here to discuss, and I look forward to a good show. Yeah.
Yeah. But so far, I mean, until Nelson come, I think there was another fire. I don't know, yesterday or today. Again, this fire situation, is getting out of hand. I think it was a storefront property that caught on fire. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know what to make of it, man. It's just getting disappointing. It's tiring. It's tiring. Because sometimes it makes you wonder what's going on, because there seems LEC being existent for the last 6 years or 18 years, whatever the case may be. But this is the very first time we have had this like cluster of fire disaster as week by week. So what is going on here is not unique. It's not like targeting one group of people. The rich and the poor are victim of this fire disaster going on. So it is serious. We need to the government need to really get a handle on this situation. So it's terrible. People keep losing their lives and losing their little valuables that they work hard for. Save up that little money and build that little houses, buy clothes or clothes for their kids, and then poop, everything is up in smoke. But go ahead.
Like you said, it's very disheartening, and it sometimes brings me to just not wanting to believe that this is normal, because like you said, there has not been the normal thing in Liberia. So what has been happening? We need to figure it out. And we'll always say the government, because I mean the government has all of the authority, the government was voted to do these things, so we always put on the government. So I think there should be a lot in the sectors, in our sectors of fire. I mean, there's a lot. It's actually confusing to me. Nothing get about it either.
Yeah, you're right. You guys are right. The issue with fire outbreak continues to be a major situation in the country. And in fact, just this morning there was an entire resident that got at fire along the Ralphie Highway.
Again,
Um,
from that store.
yeah, that store. No, no, I mean that
Okay.
store. That store. There's a resident on top of the store, so
Right.
you know
Yeah.
how they construct those places is usually not just
Okay.
the store. You have the stores down, and then the residents up where people live. Most times, the store owners and all of those people. And the
Okay.
fire actually
Okay.
started from up, and
Wow.
before before we knew it, it spread so fast. And you know, the terrible thing about most of these situations is that it pops up most times at the time when people are at a vulnerable when the victims are in a very very vulnerable state. So you take for example the time when this incident occurred as early as 6 going to 7 a.m. Imagine at that time when most people are just waking up, some people just still in bed, depending on their schedule and what have you, and then there's an outbreak. But again, the Liberian National Fire Service says they're investigating, and so we look forward to seeing how it goes. But this is alarming, and this has called for some attention, some serious attention is needed in this. You know, yeah, some serious attention is needed to address this issue. So, I'm trying to get the guys on. I want to get the guys on. It's important we have this conversation. I'm gonna get one of the guys on, and then we can bring the rest of them on here tonight. But just while we're trying to do this, I believe most of you might have come across this. I want to put this one up from. Sorry, I want to put this one up from the Lawmaker. I want to put this one up from the Lawmaker. You know, he did. Okay, so we are going to have one of the guys on the phone and not coming through the link because as you know he has some issues, some challenges. So we will have him coming through the link. We'll have him coming through directly on the Facebook. Sorry, on the via the phones lines and not through the link. So we'll have him coming on shortly. But I want us to get this read up here coming. Let's make some analysis around this. Then we'll bring Claudius on, which as we try to get the rest of the other guys coming on. I want us to make some analysis on this one right here. Okay. So sorry guys, let me do this. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have here. And I want us to take up time to look at this. The chairman, or should I say former chairman, wrote this. And this is what he wrote. He said, Indeed, those who have been entrusted with the authorities to govern have conspired against those who entrusted them with those authorities. We will never see a true fight against corruption until those who are charged with the responsibility can show that they are ready to do so. And to show readiness, we must demonstrate, they must demonstrate their commitment to fight corruption by making their respective institutions transparent. Well, the lawmaker is calling for transparency. To do this, we must be willing to clean, or they must be willing to clean their houses. First and foremost, the legislature and the GSC are the only two institutions that can fight corruption and impunity, in our country. But sadly, both institutions have conspired against the people. The legislature is, by law, the only institution that can authorize the audit of the GAC. The legislature is, by law, the only institution that can authorize the audit of the GAC. It has not done so since the GAC was created. In return, the GAC, being the body authorized by law to audit all government institutions or agencies, has never attempted to audit the legislature. What a quid pro quo, and we are sitting around fooling ourselves that the government is ready to fight corruption. Complete nonsense, he says. That's how the lawmaker ended the post. Now, Rudolph, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight. I mean, what do you make of this post here coming from the lawmaker? And now I'm getting all of the guys on. They are going to come in. John Keon will join us, and we'll have Claudius. I want to have the guy Harris on the line as well, so we move on with the discussion tonight.
So we are going back to the man motorbike case, Benin.
No, it's serious. There was a protest today.
Oh, okay.
There was a protest this morning, and let's go back to this.
What's up, sorry? What's up, my brother?
Post here from the lawmaker. Francis, let's start with you. Do you side with the lawmaker on some of the points he made in this particular post? The position he has taken.
I agree with him 100%. 100%. You know, I mean, some may say, "Oh, he's a new lawmaker, so he's calling for this because he hasn't gotten dirty. His hands are not dirty yet, right?" But come to think of it, yeah, we need people to really get the Liberian people thinking. The GSC has never been audited, and only the legislature can order that audit. And the legislature they don't get audited. And think about it, right? The legislature is the only place that the government don't determine their salary. They determine their own salary. How does that make any sense? I know there's perimeter, or let's say guardrails as to how much they can pay themselves based on certain things and stuff. But what kind of organization, what group of people, it's up to them to determine if their salaries are decreased or increased. And money goes through the legislation. They are in the budget, but they are never audited. They are never audited. And they are one of the richest group of people in the country. They are one of the richest group of people in the country. You can see somebody who come from Budua today that never saw a car roll, become lawmaker, and legally become rich after 6 or 9 years.
But Francis, in the midst of everything we're talking about here, we are under a new administration. Okay, so you may want to say a lot about the previous administration. Maybe you want to talk about corruption, you want to talk about this, you want to talk about that. But how about the fact that we're under a new administration? Developed right here before us. Is it suggesting that even this administration is feeling on this very important component of transparency? You know, the issue that has to do with the fight against corruption. Because look, this is what he's saying. Those who have been entrusted with the authorities to govern have conspired against those who entrusted them with those authorities.
Yes, Nelson. The issue here is what all right. One, I always Nelson, can you take it down a little bit? It's
Yeah,
kind of
go ahead.
distracting. I always talk about presidents supposed to use the bully pulpit to talk, even though the president cannot do anything about excuse me, ordering audit of the legislature. He can't do that. And he can't do anything about their pay and stuff like that. But as a president, something that doesn't seem right to you, go out to the Liberian people and tell them. It happens all over the world. When presidents have agenda in the U.S. and other places, they take to the airway and sell that agenda to their citizens. But we can't expect this from this president, unfortunately, because there are so many things flying over his head that he's not speaking on. So who can trust that he will get up and speak about auditing the lawmakers? He will not do anything about it. So that's part of the problem we are faced with. The president doesn't know the strength that he has by speaking directly to the Liberian people, because these lawmakers, they answer to their constituents. And if you come and tell the constituent that, okay, there's something smell fishy here, we need to get the legislature audited, whatever procedure I need to go through to get that audit done, that people can push them. Because when you're at risk of re-election, people will say things like representability speaking about auditing the legislature and also the GSC. He's just coming in. But a lot of the people that have been there, have gone through the corruption from administration to administration, they will never say something like this because they don't want an audit. But it's on the president to go out there and sell it. He was running around before he was inaugurated. He was running around to Totota, to the hospital, to appear presidential when that unfortunate incident happened to our brothers and sisters. But now that he has been inaugurated, he just said that everything fly over his head. And not only his interest, he's seeking not the Liberian interest, because how your people's houses burning, you said nothing about it, but you ran straight to Funadi Kofa house the next day after the fire incident. He said nothing as a president when this whole thing was going on with our sister Jessica. He said nothing about it. Nobody said come and put your thumb on the scale to bully the judiciary to find Lucas guilty if he wasn't guilty. But every part of the world, we see when there's injustice or civil right violation and stuff like that, presidents speak up about it to console their citizens.
So it means Francis, it means that you agree with the lawmaker on this one.
Yeah, I said 100%. 100%.
Now let's hear from Bila. Bila, where do you stand on this?
Well, thank you, Nelson. And I think the lawmaker is on point. I've now been the follower of Musa. But again, someone could say, is he doing it for some political relevance or the usual politics that we have always seen in Liberia? The people come out to speak through different meaning, but they are not honest with it. That could be another question as well. But I think some of the things the lawmaker said as relate to audit, especially for where they sit, I think it's on trend. And one of the bias thing, and the thing about this, you being a representative of that House of Representative, especially the both house, they give too many power to themselves. They have the too many power, like certain thing cannot be done until they approve it. Like the issue about the GSC, I think I'm still to be corrected before they be audited. They should give the GSC that right to audit them. That which appeared to me a certain way. Like I said, over the past period of time, some of those laws that we have on the books need to be amendment necessary. Because for our country to make some progress, there should be serious minor things in relation to making progress. Like some of
Now,
those basic laws that we have seen over the country.
one thing I want us to capture here,
Yeah,
is that this man is a member of this very first branch of government. And he is writing the rest of the word to say that the legislature, which he's a part of, and the GSC are the only two institutions that can fight corruption and impunity in the country. That in fact, those two institutions sadly have conspired against the people of Liberia. Now, is the lawmaker saying here that he himself is a part of the conspiracy? And I'm just trying to grab, what exactly the lawmaker is trying to, gain from such a write-up, especially being a member of the legislature that he fought, he campaigned, he spent his resources to be a member of. And then in less than less than 4 months, he's coming back to say that this legislature is corrupt. And they've conspired with the GSC to carry on these kinds of corruption.
I think Musa is on a trend of being a change maker in the House of Representatives. Basically, when Dillon took place, history can tell you that those are some of the things that Dillon carry on. And again, like you said, he is a part of that particular body. Somehow, somebody is calling me see it like he's desecrating that body. But Musa want to be honest to you and myself to say that house we are part of, that our former self part of, has certain corrupt behavior. I think it is about time that I speak on some of these things. And I want to say again, somebody could ask again, but he has the ability or the authority to rent that particular body to put himself on record that this house should be audited. Because I think that has been done in the past. But when you are a team makers, as time when you got the authority, I think it is important you read the House of Rep, you read the speaker addressing those basic issues. So like I was saying, we have not been seeing Musa. You can publicly say that we have not been seeing Musa as that regular politician, as that politician who's in the past, you would say he's one person who comes to make change. But I think it is important now that we see people from different angles, especially the caliber of people that they have found themselves in. They can always say this: when you outside the box, you will not see what is reflecting in there. So I think Musa have seen a lot when it comes to corruptions. So I agree with his post that the House of Representatives and that of the GSC has been a problem of Liberian people. You cannot say you want to be transparent. Like you, the host on the show, you want to apply certain rule, but you are the head of the show. You're not going by that rule. So there will be some level of contradiction right there. So Musa is saying to the Liberian people that the body we find ourselves in, it needs to have that courage, that moral courage to say, yes, the GSC, come and audit us. Come and do proper audit. You can attest to it that house has spent over a decade. It has not been audited. So for Liberia to make progress, you cannot say you lead us, then you don't want to act like one. So it's conflicting. So I think his post is all right, and I think the right thing can be done.
This is important. Rudolph, let's hear from you. The lawmaker did not stop there. After making this post, he made an appearance on a local radio station this morning, and the lawmaker went on to say that the Liberian legislature, is a hub of money launderers, and he's now threatening a lawsuit against the General Auditing Commission if it fails to audit the legislature. I mean, considering the route that this lawmaker is taking, first time lawmaker, first time in the legislature, he just campaigned, put in all of his resources to enter the legislature. Now, this is one of the major outbursts he's having now. Not just is he saying that the legislature has conspired with the GSC, but he's saying now that, in fact, the legislature is a hub of money launderers. Is this a statement that anybody should hold the lawmaker by?
You know, Nelson, Musa is a lawmaker, and I mean, I'm not fond of the man, but let's be frank. Musa is one person who understands the law of the land. So I do believe that when he comes out publicly to say such a thing, he has facts and evidence to back his statement. That being said, I agree with his post 100%. You know, let's be honest here. Since Musa entered the house, for me, he has been the most proactive, the most proactive lawmaker thus far when it comes to development in his district and also speaking out on critical issues. Musa appeared on Spoon, I think it was a couple of days ago, and he was crystal clear. I don't know if sorry you heard him, but he said that he has written communications on the floor to the speaker and to the GAC, but they are not adhering to him. So now he is even threatening to sue them for as to why they are not trying to audit the house. But you know, Nelson, so I agree with his letter and everything, but then I slightly disagree with my brother Francis when he tries to pin this on the president. You know, like HB always says, politics is not a Sunday school party. This is a brand new government headed by a president who has a lot on his agenda, and this can only happen with the support of the same legislature. So I mean, layman may say, oh yes, I mean he should go out and speak about it. But when you sit down and think politically, it is a miscalculation. At this time in his government, you cannot have him going out to blast at the house because his agenda cannot succeed without their support. That is why it was crucial enough for him to have won the speakership, because that is where presidents communicate their frustration to the speaker most time at this early stage, and then it will be the speaker who will champion that cause on the floor. But he did not win that side. So now moving forward, what can we do? I think it's up to the Liberian people themselves. The people should protest against their lawmakers for them to be audited. JMB has already shown us that, I mean, he is in favor of audit. He has asked for the audit of his own office. So do you think he just doesn't want to audit the house? No. His agendas are on the line, and if those things are not implemented, we will come back here and say, oh, he was in the office for 6 years, he failed. He did nothing because he cannot succeed without the help of that house. So let's call on our people to champion this.
You know, and I can understand where you're coming from, Rudolph. You're trying to disagree with Francis on the point where he tried to link this with the presidency.
Yeah.
But again, let's go the other way around this thing. Chairmanability is a product of the CPP.
Yep.
Right? You have Mr. Kumi's banner on one side and his banner on one side. He went with this. While the banner, the two billboards were distance apart, but the fact is that he's a product of the CPP. Now you go to the Unity Party. The Unity Party has so many lawmakers. All right? So many of those people were elected on the Unity Party ticket. Now, and then you have the lawmaker that comes back. Yeah, so for instance, I'm going to come to you. You come in shortly. But the lawmaker comes back to say the entire legislature is a hub a hub of money launderers. Now, I just want us to take a moment to look at that aspect.
Let me just learn real
We,
quick
we,
on
we
that,
know
Nelson.
how terrible the whole thing about money laundering is. We know how seriously most of our international partners, especially the US, takes this whole issue of money laundering, and stuff like that.
Nelson, let me just learn on
Given
that, please.
the impact, the effect, and everything, that is going on with even democracies around the world.
Nelson,
And we're not talking about ordinary people. But when a lawmaker says his fellow lawmakers are a bunch of money launderers, what does it say about the Liberian legislature?
Nelson, it paints a bad picture, right? It paints a very bad picture, and it sends a bad message out there. But here is it, Nelson. If Liberia was a serious country, most of were on spoon. You know what he said again? I did not mention at first. He said that he spoke to a senior-ranking lawmaker, and the person told him, "Say, my man, they are thinking what you want to be on audit. They did it audit. The people they will burn this house." I think if you guys watch the show, he said the mentoring said they did it audit. The people will get angry and they will run here in their thousands and they will burn this house. Nelson, that was a wake-up call. In any serious country, the people should have waken up from that statement. But yeah, are we? Nobody waking up. They are still waiting for that one man to keep fighting. So yeah. It's just quite unfortunate, Nelson. Honestly, it is.
Thank you, Francis. You want to come in? Yeah, I saw your hand up. You want to?
Yeah, Ronald talking about you can't blame this on the president. It's not about blaming it on the president. The president has the loudest microphone in the country. He has the loudest microphone in the country. Just as we sit here, President Biden denounces anti-Semitism on college campuses and Colombia amid Colombia protests. The president has a lot on his hand dealing with the Israel-Palestinian war, Ukraine, domestic situation. He up for re-election and all those type of things, but he's still able to stop and denounce anti-Semitism on a campus. He still want to do these things. But put your hand down, bro. I'll let you speak without interrupting you. President Barker, no excuse. You are the president. You ran for this office. You are not sitting down on your farm and the Labour and say that you will want to take you out forcibly out of your will to be president. You campaign, you ran. And we all sit there and say, this is the last bus stop. He is in the best position to set a solid foundation for Liberia after he leaves office. But what has he done so far in the interest of the Liberian people? Because if you speak against corruption when coming from the legislature, that's also speaking on behalf of the Liberian people. You're not speaking when fire burning down people's houses. You're not speaking when a citizen was almost murdered by a foreign national. What are you speaking about? What is he speaking about? You don't have to go and do a whole campaign or 15 county tour, but speak up. Speak about the ridiculous amount of money that's in the budget for the lawmakers. Speak up about why he even in the beginning talk about this audit the NSA. I don't know NSA or NIA or whatever.
Yeah, that's the NSA, but the NSA
pull back on it. So you can't even make a comment about that. So you can't even make a comment that yes, this should happen. The lawmakers should be audited just like I'm calling for my office to be audited. How much energy would that take from him?
For instance,
you want to talk about it will endanger his agenda, bill or his plan. It will endanger that. Let people see that President Biden and President Barker is speaking on their behalf, and the lawmakers are blocking his bill on his budget.
Francis, let's think deeper than the surface.
Yeah.
But that's thinking deeper. You looking at the surface because you say, they will block his agenda and stuff. Then the Liberian people will know. We can never sit back and just say, his hands are tied. His hands are tied. No more. You can say that because if he do that, the country will not go anywhere. His presidency will be worse than George Weah.
Thank you. Let me hold you there a bit. Let me hold you there a bit. Now I remember honor that very write-up. If you went there, some of the reactions are terrible. There are some who still hold on to the thoughts that disability should not be the one speaking now because of what happened with the road fund. There are some who still hold on to the thoughts that he should not be the one blowing this trumpet now because as it stands, there are still unresolved issues, unpaid balances with respect to the road funds. And this is their issue. How can this man be talking about transparency, accountability at the level of the legislature when the first issue with the road fund money that is supposed to remit to government, you didn't remit it until it went to the millions? How or why should Liberians take him as the right messenger for this particular message? Well, these are the thoughts of some Liberians, even as we speak now. You want to talk about the FIFA situation? No, but let's hear from you, Bila, because we want to bring the guys in quickly.
So thank you. You see, in Liberia, our problem is sometimes we want to attach morality to everything. Even the very people that are writing that thing, they don't have moral to speak on certain issues. So let's get out our feeling at times when we're speaking on serious issue. The issue, I read some of the comments. The issue about Musa's stance on basic political issues, especially as related to progress. Musa has always challenged any government, especially the government, that they should take into court. You don't have any money for road fund and other issues. So that is a challenge to the government to do the necessary thing. So that true reality thing, people want to bring in serious national issue. We should get all our feeling when it comes to discussing things that will make our country progress. So I want to disagree with Sanchez when you talk about
listen, Peter. Do you want to dismiss all of those people who have that issue with respect to road fund issue? You think that's not strong enough for people to raise, especially talking about the message and the messenger?
Choice of what you could see dismissed, but I'm not dismissing. I'm telling the government to do the necessary thing. So make him guilty or
no. I want us to address that aspect: the message and the messenger. Peter, are you here? Did you go in coma or what?
Say that again. You said the message and the messenger. What do you mean by that?
No, Peter. So it came to this particular point before you stopped. You got completely disconnected from the talking point. So here's the question I'm asking. The write-up from the lawmaker, a lot of people have hailed him for that. They've applauded him for that. But then the other issue that some Liberians are having has to do with the messenger. Some are saying that the message is good, but it's being preached by the wrong messenger. While others think that, oh, look, due to the messenger, this message should not be bought. It should be preached by another messenger. Well, others think that, look, message or messenger or whatever, we're going for the message. Where do you stand?
So if every message will be wrong because of a messenger, I think we should go for the message for our country to make progress. You see, like I said from the previous stage, is this issue about bringing issue into issue that does not make any sense. That is the problem of Liberia. So, like I was saying, I want to slightly disagree with, for instance, when you say the president should speak. The president should speak on concern issues. You talk about the president not speaking on some very issue, like especially the issue. I think it would be a way of interfering in another function of a government, an arm of government, and bringing some hindrance to your portion or your part of the government as executive. So we have to be careful. We're talking about the house, the branch of legislature, and we had the judiciary and had the other stuff. We talked about interfering here the last time, and I think we should take that into consideration. They got speakers, they got leadership, they got people who in there should come out to speak on some of these issues. So everything should not be just the president speaking on some of the issue. So it may appear like the president want to add their web page man who want to speak on every issue, if even if it is not necessary. So I disagree that the president should come and say, "Oh, that horse should be audited." Within themselves, they know that the horse should be audited. Like Rudolph said, communication has been powerful. I don't want to believe in my mind you've been following the legislative politics. There has been a series of communication in there, but those guys will not take it serious. And I want to agree that maybe when the audit report come on, that bro will chup in there with a lot of anger. I don't want to believe that Musa said, that one of his calling told you. So I think they should be audited and they should be serious with the Liberian people here. Amazing.
Thank you.
Nelson, can I make a
Rudolph,
quick point? Okay,
yeah.
you know,
Just a quick point, Rudolph.
yeah, let me make some clarity here. I'm in no way saying that the president is not the most powerful man in the country. He is. I'm not in any way saying that if the president speaks out, he will be blackmailed by the House. That's a wrong choice of word. What I'm saying is that not just Liberia, but in any country, for a president to succeed, he needs the support of the legislature. In America, in Liberia, in anywhere around the world, you know, it is too soon for the president to start going against the legislature. And you know why I say against? I use the word carefully, against. I am saying against because it is clear that they don't want to do this. So what the president could do is to use one of them and fight a proxy war.
Look, Rudolph, are you insinuating here that the president wants to use someone at the legislature to push this issue of audit and all of that? But you think even in the case where the president wants to use someone, with all the United Party lawmakers, he will leave Rachel Kuhn, for example. He leave what the other lawmakers? Priscilla Cooper, all these different lawmakers. Do you think he will leave all of them?
Nelson,
Go for how you call it, and go for chairmanability?
No, I am not saying he is using ability. Nelson, I studied politics.
I actually want to get that
politics I studied politics in the US. One may say, it's a Western politics. But Nelson, here is it. In the legislature, in the US here, you got the leader of the Democrat Party, you got the speaker, and you got the leader of the GOP. So what I am suggesting to the president is this: you lost the speakership. You cannot control that. What you can do now, because we all know that he wants this to happen, but Nelson, he cannot risk going on the media and blasting the House. So what he can do now, have a meeting with the leader of the UP legislators in the House. Thank you, to put this agenda for him. Nelson, this is just politics. For me, I will not just come out here and just speak because I am angry. No, this is I went to school for this thing. So when I'm talking, I dig deeper.
And by the way, Musa is part of the reformers.
Here is the thing, and we're going to give you 10 seconds because we're trying to get the guy set up. But here's the thing. The Unity Party government, for example, got elected on the basis of transparency, fighting corruption. And one of the key things that this government pushed while in opposition was the audit.
And he is doing it when he has the power.
Now. No, I'm trying to drive at a particular point.
Okay, go ahead.
President Barker now was heard on several clips in so many interviews saying that they are going to audit. And nobody should be afraid of audit.
Okay.
Because when you get somewhere, you need to know where that previous person or previous government, how they manage state resources. You need to establish all of those things. And so because of that, the Unity Party government was going to audit. Now, I remember we had one show here where we were asking the question as to what if the government comes to power today and say, oh, let's forget about audit. And so many people were angry. Is it if President Barker tried it? that they will do this, will do that. But this is where we are.
Nelson,
So,
the president may
Rudolph,
be
so
the most
my
powerful
thing is,
man.
my thing is, given the level of emphasis that the government placed on this whole audit issue,
Yeah.
don't you think that the government should have had a roadmap, a blueprint as to how they wanted this audit to go on, rather than maybe using chairmanability or the
No,
lawmaker
Nelson,
ability to
Nelson,
want to preach
don't
this
misquote me.
message of
Nelson,
audit, when in
do
fact it was
not,
one of the major messages they preached to the Liberian people.
Nelson, do not misquote me. I don't think, and I did not say that Mr. Ability is doing the bidding of the president. I did not say that, and I don't think so, because we did not even support the president. So let's scratch that out. Nelson, I was trying to say something, but you just kept going. Nelson, the thing is, the president may be the most powerful man in the country, but he has his jurisdiction. The House is the first branch of government for a reason. When the president said we audit, Nelson, and we are seeing him everywhere that he has jurisdiction, he is pushing for audit. That place is above his jurisdiction. He cannot he can only play politics to get what he wants from that place. But he doesn't have the power over that place. That is the point I'm trying to make.
What Nelson is in the back? Let me just.
There was separate power coming, man.
10 seconds.
Go ahead.
Randolph, Rudolph, you don't need to be a student of politics to understand how government works. So you can talk about you study politics. I did not study politics, but you don't need to be a student of that. What I'm talking about here is
the power. I am in no way trying to
talking our quiet.
No, I am just saying something. I am sorry if you took it that way.
Oh, no offense. I just want to let the listening audience to understand that you do not have to be a student of politics
to
understand how government works.
Go ahead.
Pretty much government is 80 to 90% common sense.
Go ahead.
The rest is specialized education in certain field. So special whatever. But anyway, what I'm trying to point out here is the president has the biggest microphone in the country.
I agree.
I'm not saying they agree, but let me just go. The issue here is this president has said nothing since he has been inaugurated. I'm not talking about putting the asset recovery team together, this, that, no. In countries, presidents speak on national issues. Liberia is a very small country. More than half of its population is concentrated in the most, one of the smallest county, and where most of the danger is taking place. But he's not saying anything. So I'm not saying the president has the authority to audit, to push for, to audit the legislation. Absolutely not. But he has the loudest microphone that if he just throw his weight behind that assertion and say, there's smoke over there, what don't you think the Liberian people need to know? And he can continue doing his job.
President, I would agree with your
but he's not
argument.
saying, but Randall, you're speaking out quiet, bro. Let me wrap up, Randall. Let me wrap up. When you're speaking out quiet, the issue here is this president is sitting on his hands and doing nothing, not speaking to the Liberian people, not saying anything on national issues like fire, like Jessica, and other things, but then yet and still, a bunch of mishap is happening. So why should the Liberian people feel confident that this president, even if he had the authority to do something about the letter Representative Biden put out there, he is going to do anything about it. And you talk about maybe he could lobby United Party lawmaker. These are corrupt people that have been there since George Weah time. You think he will go to them? Absolutely not. The president is not speaking. He's been bobo since he's being inaugurated.
Francis, I get your point, but for us to say that he is not speaking, that will be far from the truth. When you say that he is not speaking enough, I might agree with you. We might.
Why has he spoken on that?
And you say you were. I should wait. I waited for you. Didn't talk to me.
I mean, mute.
If you say that he is not speaking at all, then that is a problem. Also, I will go further by saying The president has a press secretary for a reason. And Francis, I will go further again by saying to you that, Francis, you and I mean, I am not saying that what you are saying you are wrong. No, that's not what I am saying. What I am saying is it's not timely. It is not timely. This president has not achieved even 10% of what he promised the people yet. And for him to achieve that, he will need a support from the House. So what I am telling you, and to be frank with you, if this was the 4th year, you and I would be singing the same song and dancing to the same tune on this platform right now. What I am telling you is give him, I mean, he cannot try to create that tension between his office and that house because he needs them. That's all I am saying. I'm not saying you are wrong. You are not wrong.
I get you, but the issue here is in all of this president, he's supposed to be the stir the pot president. Stir the pot president. Even let me tell you one thing. This president, the fact that let's just look at one of his major accomplishments, right? The passing of the
resolution
for the war economic crown court, right? That's a major accomplishment, and more work still need to be done to get the court set up.
Yeah,
things will still get done, but this president, there's no such thing as wait for 4 years. Let me tell you one thing: Liberians put to get complicit, put to get comfortable. The moment a little bit of peace, we're experiencing a little bit of peace, we forget about the deadly war that we just went through. And now that we know that we have a president, because all of our past presidents always run for second term, even if they're one-term president or not. But by the grace of God, we know this papi is probably he's one term. He doesn't have the luxury of time. Sometimes people say, you know what, I will probably do this in my second term when I'm not going for re-election. He doesn't have the luxury of time. He's supposed to start the part from day one. I understand that he needs to have allies among the lawmaker to push his agenda. But you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can stir the pot and still go directly to the people. A lot of leaders around the world do it. They put the agenda in front of the House or the lawmakers, and they go to the citizen and sell the agenda to them. Then when a lawmaker get bombarded from their folks, they know that, okay, we can mess with this agenda because the people want it. The people that sent us here to check the executive, they want it. But he doesn't know how to use this. The press secretary, yes, press secretary can come up and speak every now and then, but there's nothing as powerful as hearing the president speak from his own mouth. Nothing more powerful than that.
And he has spoken. But
on what?
Go ahead, Bella, if you want to come in.
I know we are passionate sometimes about how wanting to hear the president speak on some issues. And I agree that it will bring some level of relief to people, especially in circumstances. But you don't just want to hear, don't forget to know that when the president speaks, is a policy statement, and you have to be in certain position before you speak on certain issues. Like people always say, you just want to hear the president speaking on issues of concern. Yeah, we could acknowledge few circumstances surrounding the state of government, especially when you're talking about fire issues and other stuff that could bring relief to the people, right? But not just every issues that you will see the president speaking of. You have to be careful and know the society that we're talking about. Liberia is such a country wherein, because there's a law that talk about the branches of government which are stated and their functions. So we should acknowledge the thing. So you and I have a president talking about how the House of Representatives should be, come on, auditor. I mean, there could be different ways which we could suggest that the president could put forth, some strategy that his voice or his message through his representative, that is the UP representative, those that believe in him as a president. I'm not saying the CDC lawmaker does not believe in him, but those that buy onto his agenda, his legislative agenda, right? So they could put for bills, they could put for communication that yes, these are things that we want from his suggestion, because I believe that he had a meeting with General Gosan. There are many things that they discussed that he wants to be achieved as part of his legislative agenda. Like Rudolph said, you have to be careful. First, that country called Liberia is such a funny country. There are certain issues will shock you to know that this president, somebody will say, yes, let the president speak of some of the issues and be on record. So let's see whether his legislative agenda would not be achieved. But you have to be careful as well. You want even the Democrat and that of the Republican in this country. There are certain things you don't see them speaking of like that, especially that relate to the functioning of the House of Representatives and Senate, because they want to get certain things achieved. So the thing is win-win let's say position or win-win way. So you don't just want to give up certain thing out there because you want to speak on certain thing. Don't forget about the bigger goal
The thing
and
is,
always look at what is just in front of you. So we should look forward when seeing some of the things.
thank you,
So the issue
Suarez.
about the president speaking is important. Friendship. Nobody disagreeing that the president should not speak on some of the issue and put some measure in place. But
Francis, the thing is,
um,
so, sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
yes,
guys.
but I think I
Okay,
think it
guys.
should be in
So
a move. I know. That way.
yeah, so we
Apart
now
from
know.
Musa, who else is speaking? Do you want JMB to take that risk? You are
Okay, so guys, we want to bring the folks on. Mikael, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. I see your background. If we appreciate were you to close the door, or maybe just shift your background a bit, so that you don't get people coming in and coming out. That causes distraction. I think that's a good one. But it's good to have you on now, and we're gonna kickstart the show now with our guys. They are already here. We had them on the show the other day, but I thought to have them back because we want to know. Today there was a little bit of tension up Capitol here again with this whole motorcyclist no-go zone for motorcyclists that was being announced by the Liberian National Police. Well, so many of the parties I've spoken to so far have not taken responsibility of what happened up Capitol Hill. Who exactly? So the first individual I want to bring on tonight is John Keon. John Keon was here the other night. We had a conversation. He was here with the other guys, and so I thought to bring him on. John, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
the man is
Well, thank you.
comfortably seated.
Okay, so tonight I can see that you don't have issues with LEC. It's a good setup, everything from your end. It's good to have you on the show tonight.
Well, Nelson, thank you for having me. I want to see how you guys doing.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
so
doing
we're
good.
doing good. We're doing good. So,
Okay.
John, let me just firstly begin this whole thing here by asking you this question: did you or any of your guys take onto the streets yesterday to protest up Capitol Hill?
Well, Nelson, as the head of the Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Sector, whatever cyclists do, definitely as a leader, I will be called upon and I should be able to answer. Yesterday, I was at Central and we tried to uh, talk with the LMP as to how we can be able to continue to maintain sanity and to making sure that we have public safety. So as a head, I do take whatever responsibility when it comes to the motorcycle and motorcycle sector. But however,
Yeah, John,
in our
John,
sector,
John. Yeah, John,
nothing.
I want to understand something. I want to understand something. Yesterday morning, there was a little bit of tension up Capitol Hill. Cyclists were there in their numbers. The streets were blocked. There was a traffic situation up Capitol Hill. And so the question is, did you, John Keon, or any of your guys, the motorcyclists, or any of the different auxiliaries that falls under the umbrella, did you guys take protest up Capitol Hill?
Why should we protest? First of all, uh, I condemn the protest that went on as a president. Like I said the other day, as a president, I can never and I will never use the means of protest as a way of asking for my right. Right?
Okay, but were you up Capitol Hill? Were you up Capitol Hill yesterday morning?
No, I want to see the LMP authority, and we talk, and I continue to commit myself and the entire leadership.
Okay, you went there, but you went to see the LNP leadership.
Yeah, and we met. My leadership visited them, and we met, and even committed ourselves. And indeed, we will continue to work with Liberia National Police in maintaining
Yeah,
peace and
and,
stability.
and so there's something I'm trying to establish here. So when you went up Capitol Hill, did you go with fleets of motorbikes, motorcyclists?
Not
Was
as
there anything like 5, 6, 7, or 20 bikes in a convoy moving up Capitol Hill? What exactly was it like? That's the first thing I want to
I didn't,
establish.
I didn't, I didn't carry bike. All right.
So you went
I
there
I use
individual.
my car. I use my car to go there, and my leaders went along. We were about 6 executive in number, and we went directly to the Liberia National Police headquarters, and we met with Honorable Nelson Freeman, 102. If you call him, he will text to what I'm talking about.
Okay. So this is important, folks, because we want to establish something very interesting, very very important here. Let me bring on a gentleman here. Um, guys, you're gonna have the floor to ask the guys some questions, but now we have Claudius on the line. Claudius, are you here?
Hello, Nelson.
Okay, it's good to have you on. You're live on the radio. Um, Claudius, again, which group are you a part of, or what's your position there again?
Yeah, good evening, Nelson. Good evening to all the panelists. It's a pleasure being with you guys tonight. I wholeheartedly welcome this opportunity. So, I'm Claudius KP Udell, and I am a motorcyclist and an activist who run a motorcyclist advocacy group called the Concerned Motorcyclist Advocacy Movement.
Are you a union or you just an advocacy movement?
No, absolutely. I'm not a part of the union, though I have been coerced, intimidated, and mandated to associate or go by union mandate, but I have no interest in union, and I'm just a cyclist and who found himself in the advocacy area.
Hmm. Wow. Okay, so as an advocacy now, what's your role in this whole thing, with respect to everything that's been transpiring?
Yeah, firstly, I want to come to this school with different view and different points. Why it is true that the upset it has been like to discuss the issue of the no-go zone. But the government have come out already. The government has spoke on the issue of no-go zone. And you know, Nelson, and all of the panelists there, there's nowhere in the world that people for government. And with the issue of protesting or protestation going about, motorcyclists protesting, though it is the right to protest, but I don't think that's the rightful means. So I was on few platforms calling on cyclists to see the issue of protestation not being the rightful way because you are also hindering other people movement. dialoguing and engaging would be the rightful way.
Okay.
So with the issue of the no-go zone, like I said, we cannot fault the government, but we are obligated as activists to inform the government of some irregularities within the shelter and some of these things that are affecting us as cyclists. Nelson, you have known me over the time, and I am an active motorcyclist. That's what I do to survive. That's what I do to sustain my family. I got 2 kids. I got a girlfriend, and we live together. So there is no job. You know, as per Article 8 of the Liberian Constitution that states, I do not have it on me, but it speaks on the government providing jobs, opportunity, livelihood for each citizen
Yeah.
equally.
Yeah.
So since
So
the Liberian government is unable to provide jobs for at least approximately 5 million citizens, some of us see motorcycle as a means of sustaining ourselves because we do not want to be liability to society.
okay. So
And
we want to hold you there. We want to hold you there and go to John. Then we will give the floor to the rest of the panelists to ask you some questions. Now, John, you said you did not go to protest up Capitol Hill, but you went to meet with authorities of the Liberian National Police today. Though there are reports of protestation up Capitol Hill this morning at about the time you went there. But I want to know what exactly did the police say relative to this no-go zone? I believe you went to engage with them regarding that. What did they say? Where have you guys reached with respect to this whole back and forth, talking about restriction for motorcyclists in Liberia? You, as one of the leaders of the motorcycle unions in the country, what is the police telling you? What is it that you have on the table that you guys are dialoguing about right now?
Well, thank you so much, Nelson. Once again, I am the official spokesperson for motorcyclists and tricyclists. I was elected, all right? When the police came out with a decision, at first, ELWA route
Okay.
was included in the restriction. I want the public to hear this and to listen because the misinformation, there are some media and platforms that are misleading the public only because they want to destabilize the peace and stability. It is wrong. They are not doing our country justice. Other countries are progressing, but we are retrogressing on a daily basis because of how we send out information. ERWA route was a part of the restriction. Junction red light, Somalia Drive was also a part of this restriction.
Okay.
When we received the information, we with immediate effect engaged the Liberian National Police authorities, and through our negotiation, we were able to uh, convince the Liberian National Police authorities as to why bikes should continue to run from Junction to Ara Highway and from
Wow.
Junction to Somalia Drive Road. All right. Now, Central Morovia, because even somebody call me, one of our leaders call me from Bon, John, your name is spread everywhere, how you sound, document, people pay you, they give you money. Why should I do that as a leader? With everything we are doing behind the scene, we don't just be drum for ourselves to test it, right? But we always, you call the LMP, they will tell you, John has been very instrumental. He and his leadership, they have been very proactive in making sure they represent the best interest of motorcyclists. But politicians are using the situation to mislead few of our guys who do not just listen or who do not just want to be controlled, and which is very, 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 very disheartening that we will see some of our cyclists, immediately somebody says something to them, they will not investigate. They will join our pressing. And there's a reason why we are saying we want a complete system. We want this sector to be controlled. We want everyone who is riding motorcycle to be under control and restrictions. Because we cannot just have people, including some of them are not even motorcycle commercial bike riders. Real commercial bike riders will not just run around all day and forget it. You listen to Claudius. Many of those guys, thousands of them, ride motorbike because they have family at home and they want to put something on the table for their family. But there are some who are not commercial bike riders. So we want to distinguish the commercial bike riders and those who are not. So to have that system put into place where commercial bike riders will be uniform. Some of those guys who are troublemakers will not embrace the idea.
Okay. So
putting real system into place. So the LMP were able to listen to us. Bike is running Central Monrovia everywhere. The only place that the bike will not be using is the new Tomo Boroba.
Let me hold you there.
That will be running.
Yeah, let me hold you there, sir. Let me hold you there. So you're saying that the police not allow for motorbike to run in Central Monrovia along Ralphie Highway, along the Tottenham Boulevard, or they will not use the Tottenham, the Japan Freeway. The main street.
No, not the Japan Freeway. The main street from Joshua in town.
The Tottenham Boulevard.
Is where the police is talking about. But take for example, there are bike parking station around 20th Street. The bike will still be running. In fact, they will have access of crossing going behind BSA. We have bikes around the 16th Street parking station there. They will still be parking there. They will have access to cross to take their passenger to
go to Central Monrovia, drive through Broad Street, Kerry Street, and all those places, right?
Only the main route they will not use because of the system that is being put into place. And I want people to be reasonable enough. We have advocated
let me turn it over to our panelists so they ask some questions now. Francis, you want to come in? But before Francis come in, do you recognize Claudius? Is he one of? Do you recognize him as one of the heads of an advocacy concerned motorcyclists?
Yeah, Claudius, I know Claudius. In fact, once upon a time, I remember there was a situation involving he getting involved into a stolen bag issue. He called me as his leader because he has my number. One of the things I normally do, I share my number with all of the cyclists.
So you know him, right? And so you know
yeah.
Okay,
So
the person on here, do you know him to be the head of the motorcycle union and the elected, legitimate head of the union?
So with that, Nelson, I'm totally confused because this sector is usually divided. Let me inform you and your panelists and the rest of the
But
audience.
why getting you confused, Claudius? The major said he knows you. But you're on to answer the question and you say you confused. How are you
totally confused? I'm
saying
the sector is usually divided. You have one group on the other end calling herself Nafronta, who is a federation also.
No, let me bring the document here.
Motorcyclist related activities. While Front 2 that is headed by Keon is being called the head for motorcyclist related activities. So I'm so glad tonight that he's making on this platform that he knows me.
Okay,
and
so we will settle the dust. We will settle the dust on the issue. Claudius, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me?
That's the only event you can recall. But I do not want to.
But Claudius, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah. So let's communicate. Just hold on a bit. Just hold on a bit. He's showing documents. I would appreciate if you had to screenshot that document and share it. But Francis, go ahead. You can ask any of the gentlemen some questions.
Yeah, but this is pretty much a question open for the both of them to answer. It's just because.
Hello,
can you hear Francis?
Please, I'm not getting the panelists clear.
All right, can you hear me now, Claudia?
Yeah, a bit, very, very low.
Okay, I'll try to speak a little louder. But anyway, I mean, historically speaking, when it comes to the motorbike guys in Liberia, it hasn't always been good. We all know have had experiences wherein things get out of hand when they weave in and out of traffic. So there's a whole lot of issues that come with this. And I know some people like to use other countries as an example of how the motorcycle transportation is working smoothly. But Liberia is a different country. The law and order in Liberia, the security apparatus, they are not well equipped to manage, to police the entire country, let them say to have them policing traffic like they're supposed to. So my question to these two gentlemen, instead of people taking to the street and protesting, can they just, and why they are putting things, plans in place? We know people have to feed their family, but can they just follow the guidelines put forth by the police department or the authorities to use the route given to them for now while they work on a better plan on to get back all those routes that they like to use? Can you guys just work with the plan that the police department or the authorities are asking you guys to use, instead of taking onto the street and protesting, and then you can put your plans together and come back legally with the same police department? Is this something that you guys can do, or is that not an option?
So I can come in there to answer, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So I heard you saying that in other countries, the motorcyclists are moving on well, but in Liberia it's different. If I get that question right, it is all because the leadership you're seeing, for which Mr. Keon, who is seated over there, happen to be one of the biggest problems when it comes to the motorcycle sector today, that makes the sector in Liberia completely different as compared to other sectors outside. The sector today, we are struggling because people like Kenyan have been able to maneuver their way in the sector and use the sector through the means of advocacy and exploit we, the cyclists, by generating money for us. And what they do with these monies, we have no idea. These money have been used for their own personal gains. And Mr. Kenyon and the rest of the guy, even the Harris Scully, that's why we are calling on for the advocacy and all Liberians, especially the government civil society groups, to call these brothers to ask them what's the vision that they have for this federation, because they have been here for more than 17 or 18 years.
I'm sorry, Claudia. Not to cut you off, my brother. My question is, we know things happen. I don't know about the leadership of the motorcyclists and stuff, but as citizens, pedestrians, or other drivers and stuff, it gets aggressive, it gets violent when a cyclist is hit, or when they hit a car and a group of them come around, beat on cars, things like that is out of control. So my question is, in order to make things peaceful for everybody, can you guys use the route given to you by the authorities, and then work out behind the scene a guideline, or put your governing body together and come up to show that you can really govern yourself and in traffic with other vehicles? Can you do that?
Yes, it is not difficult, but in other way it is difficult, I must admit, on this platform. And that is why we are carrying on an appeal to the government. You been in Liberia, we have one-way street from EIB Junction straight to town. There is no detour. There is no other route you use. And in town is where you have almost all of the government ministry and agency, and you have all of the big businesses in Liberia. They are all located in town. Besides, you have almost all of the universities and high schools in town. Now, the whole town you see there is almost like a residential place. Even the mansion there is a residential place. There are people live within these areas that are below the property line. and vast majority of them use motorcycle as a means of sustainability. Even the whole sinker. So Liberia is hugely challenged in terms of development when it comes to road connectivity and restriction on residential places. You got people that live outside Montserrat that comes to Moravia just to purchase something durable. And all these big business areas
Okay,
are
so
in town.
you are saying in
So
short that
it is
it's not
difficult.
possible,
It is
right?
just difficult. I must admit, it is just difficult. But what we are recommending to the government is that, or to the LMP, if we can come up with a road safety watchdog, like we have been yearning for all the time. Come on, if you have a data system of motorcycles on each parking lot, do a vetting of mental motorcyclists and come up with a restriction like you must have V-mirrors, get your
Okay.
feet wear your safety gear, if
Okay.
possible helmet, and give them the opportunity to have access to town. Because if I should go on UL camper and UL have no other detour I will use to get there and coming from the area bill, I mean, it's self an infringement of my right one way or the other. While the stupid want for Liberia to develop, we should also be able to create an avenue so that other people should have access to things that they need.
Thank you, Claudius. Francis, I guess he answered your question, right?
So can I
Yeah, but
make input?
Yeah, maybe Karen wants to come in.
yeah,
Come in.
he can address the question too.
Well, let me be real, right? I operated a commercial motorcycle for 8 good years, and today I'm into leadership, right? Many of our guys hate restriction. They hate to be governed, and things doesn't work like that. The reason why some of us we are refined is because we agree to be governed, and we think the best way out in life is to allow yourself to be governed. And we've gone across the country preaching the message of respect for rule of law and being an agent of positive change. Where in motorcyclists will be respecter of the law, where in tricyclists we recognize that indeed, regardless of you being a motorbike rider or a keke rider, it does not exempt you from being a good citizen in the society. One thing I always said, every platform that I went to, and I always said this, motorcyclists and tricyclists are not on different planets. We are all citizens, we are all Liberians. But one thing, cyclists will heal you when you always with them and just anything they tell you as a leader, you follow it. But when you
Nelson,
start
not to
to
cut the
take
brother
the
off
place
and take up much
Moses,
time. My question
when you want
also
to take the
is,
place Moses,
can
when
they
you want to
follow the
play the
mandate
place,
of the LNP for now and then work behind the scene to see if they can get back on those major routes that they want? But for now, is it possible to start all this protesting because there's no guidelines right now from you guys? But can you just follow the LNP directive right now and work as leaders? You can work behind the scene with the LNP to see how you can get back on those major routes that you want. Is that a possibility?
there's a possibility. The only issue we have, the problem we have is that just few of them, few of the guys are being used by people like this. So people like Yeke Koroba
Uh,
and one of the
how
district
did
number 2.
your
Those guys are in the habit of influencing some of those guys
so how
to
did
start
your I'm hearing
and
myself.
I want to say on this public platform, Honorable Yeke Koroba and Safuko should rather refocus their mind on making laws that would benefit motorcyclists and tricyclists, that would benefit the citizens, instead of calling people in, especially to go and discuss as to how cyclists should run into the president convoy. They are not doing them due diligence. And I'm so surprised that Honorable Koloba. Oh yes, that was an intelligence that we received day before yesterday, before the guys that came up yesterday. All right, there was a meeting held at Honorable Koloba's residence, wherein they discussed that in fact they were going to make sure they should not allow the president to go to work. They should make sure to destabilize the movement of people. And I do not think Honorable Koloba and Safoko forgetting to understand that their rights, their freedom of saying certain thing or doing certain thing is in the house. But whatever that is done outside, especially when it comes to what he's doing, all right, is impeding and going against the rights of others. And he can be charged for that, and he can be held liable for that. That's why he's forgetting to know. So for him to be inciting and making the entire country to be unstable, it is unfair, and that is not part of his function as a lawmaker. So let me just teach him, maybe he doesn't understand. The lawmaker has oversight responsibility. They have a lawmaking right. And they have representation. So if he doesn't understand that, again, he's citing people to go in the street and destabilize. It is not part of his role as a lawmaker. So he's not setting any good example. Not at all.
So let's do this. I don't know for some. Do you have another guy that is listening?
What?
You have another thing. I'm hearing myself.
Nelson is only when you
No.
Okay, so I don't know how this. But we can have the next. Rudolph, go ahead. Asif.
I mean, he is. When he gets back, I would do it. Oh, I am still hearing myself.
Someone is listening to. Is it okay?
Is it okay now?
John, do you have anything? Like anything radio on?
No.
Yeah, there's a bad feedback. But I mean,
I don't think it's from me. Maybe it's on another person.
I mean, everybody else mute. Nelson, mute. Can you get muted? Let me see. Yeah, we hear myself. Okay, then it's still going. I don't know what's going on there.
Now, maybe Claudius, can you ask? Maybe Claudius, are you listening to something, to radio?
Or maybe he left his phone down. Because
I want to believe so.
Nelson, you are muted.
I'm saying I don't know how to. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think it's from the guy.
I think it is from Claudius.
John, mute yourself.
Okay, Abby, can you hear me? Abby, can you lower your TV?
I don't have anything.
John, mute yourself.
John is muted. Nelson is Claudius. Maybe you should cut him off from your phone.
The Claudius is off. I cut Claudius off. That was the first thing I did. But can you guys?
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's good.
Great. So Rudolph, you can go ahead. Oh my god.
Maybe I should go ahead.
They still got lost in there.
It's something from the studio. It's not happening to John.
No, it is not happening to me.
Nelson, it's better from you.
Yeah, I think it's from the studio. Nelson, leave the
Nelson,
show.
leave the show and come back.
Nelson?
Nelson?
He's frozen?
He's frozen?
Yep, Nelson
Yep,
first.
Nelson first.
Nothing never
Nothing never done so.
So you guys think I
So
should
you
still
guys think
ask
I
my
should
question
still
or
ask
we
my
should
question
wait
or we should
and fix
wait
it first?
fix it first?
You'll be getting your check.
Yeah, you check.
I think you can ask your question and
It's not
while we are
Nelson.
Not
waiting.
Nelson.
We're
but
still
when
hearing.
But second,
when Kayan
but
is
when
finished, we're not
Kayan
be
is finished,
hearing.
we're not be hearing.
I think when he's talking,
When
it's
he's
good.
talking, it's good.
Let's see what happens.
I don't think it is from my
Does
end.
it work?
Does it
We'll
work?
all have to
We'll
go
all
out
have
and
to
come
go
back.
out and come back.
I think you guys can get me clearly, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we're
good.
getting you.
Yeah, we're getting you.
So it is not from my end.
We're getting you.
We're getting you.
All right.
I think you can speak
I
a
think you
little
can
bit
speak a
of
little bit of
Yeah, so just as I was saying, Honorable Koloba and Safoko should redirect their way of gaining public relevance instead of using the cyclists as a way of gaining public attention, because it is not helping. I strongly believe it only exposes how limited they are, because as a lawmaker, you should be at the Capitol building making suggesting bills in the interest of the citizens, and you should be questioning those companies as to how they are making use of their social corporate responsibility, and getting to the citizens and asking them the dividend of what they are getting from those companies. But they are not doing that. Instead, they are wanting to use the motorcyclists as a means of destabilizing the state, and it is unfair. And I think it is one of the wrong things that they have ever decided to do. International community, international partners have tried over the time. International partners like UC, CRS, they've tried over the past time, like the Angie Brooks International Center. Those organizations have tried to ensure that the sector is governed in the right form and manner. As you may be aware, during the past election,
It's still happening.
It's not happening. Sorry.
during the past election, you saw how peaceful our elections were. You saw how cyclists govern themselves, because everywhere we went, we always asked our cyclists to desist from violence. But today we see our lawmakers who should be helping us going in the street alone with the
Can you hear
cyclists,
Nelson?
taking on motorcycles and encourage the cyclists to be
Mr. Kiam?
Mr. Kiam.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you guys
Sorry,
go
did
off
you guys
mute
go
and come
off
back
mute
on?
and come back on?
Maybe
Can we
log
all
out?
just
Can we
log
all
out?
just
Can we
log
just
out?
log out
Can
and
we
try
just
to
log
come
out?
back?
I just came back.
I just came back.
You still
Can
have
we
to
all
You
log
still
log
out.
have
out?
to log out?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
let us all log
let us
out.
all log out.
Let's log out.
Let's log out.
Because we want to. Okay, so I see the guys are back on. Francis, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Willow, are you here?
Much better.
Yes, I'm here. I think it's good.
Mikey, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I think I mean you here with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's hope we can have John coming on now. I think there was a bit of technical issue of that nature. So we can try to log the guys back on. But this is serious. I don't know who had the floor and asking questions, but
It was me. It was my
I
turn.
know.
So I didn't
was
even
you,
have a
Rudolph?
single question before
But
you.
there's a
Rudolph.
need,
Rudolph.
Rudolph, for everything you guys are saying with this motorcycle transport unions. Do you see a way forward anytime soon?
I don't know Nelson, but I feel like a lot of people within the union doesn't. They don't recognize what's his name, John Kayan as their leader. I think there is an internal conflict, and there needs to be some form of discussion made. They have to just make some. I mean,
Who's typing on the keyboard?
but I am waiting for him to come so I can ask him my questions.
Okay, I think we have him back.
Okay, good.
Keon, are
Sounds
you
good.
back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, John. So, when I was listening to you, you did mention that you were riding commercial bike for 8 years. So, what do you do now? Do you still ride bike, or what do you do currently?
I'm actually playing a leadership role. Like I
So
said,
for
I
work,
share, I
what do you
share,
do?
I share, I share a document with Nelson.
Yeah, John. What do you do
Um,
for work right now?
what do I
John
do?
said he's a leader.
No, I
I'm the
no.
leader.
Okay, so John, one
We
may
go to
say
work.
that one may say that because you are no longer you are no longer riding bike like the other guys, so you no longer feel their pain, and you don't know what they are going through, so you may not be the best person to speak for them and to lead them. What do you have to say to someone like that?
uh, if Joseph Jimabwaka was selling oil yesterday, and you making president, or he was making farm yesterday, and you making president, do you still expect Joseph Jimabwaka to leave the work of the presidency and go in the garden to be making garden instead of doing the work of the presidency? So the reason why we left yesterday and to visit the Liberia National Police headquarters, it is part of my role to represent the cyclist sector. That when there is a rising issue, we go and make sure it is handled. Calling the 15 counties, you know, to get one or two person on this platform to say, I will not listen to John Kenyon. Do you think somebody within the CDC will even want to see Ambassador Waka as president? Eh? Do you really think so? So the issue of leadership in Liberia, especially when you're coming down with a system that will help the general public, people will see you as an enemy. Just a few months back, if people were hailing, joking, oh, our president, our leader, and people still hail me. But a few guys who believe that this regulation is against them, they believe that John Kenyon has played no part in making sure. Even some of our leaders have been following their social media platforms. Some of them advocating, posting my photo, Mr. President, JY is stood forward in here. We still want you to. And if you check my official Facebook page, I said this, and I'm a team that I love this sector so much. The fact that I ran a commercial motorbike for 8 years with the experience I have of riding motorcycle, and I know how it takes to generate 1,000. I know what it takes to wake up in the morning, leave your home, get in the street, and then passenger is
is calling you here and there, and you taking people from one point to another. So the experience I have a vast experience. From 2010 to now, I've been in the sector. So if you call the Minister of Transport now on this platform, he will tell you the role I am playing as a president. If you call the police director, he will tell you the role I'm playing as a president. Even if you engaged other international partners, they will tell you the role I'm playing as a president on behalf of the sector. But to bring few, one or two persons on the platform, and they say, I don't recognize them only because they know within themselves that whatever they are pushing, they want to make sure that they
Thank you,
succeed
Mr.
to it.
Keon.
We
Can we
expect them
keep
to
our
execute.
question a little short so we can have more time to ask
My
more
second
questions?
question, John. So, John, are you in any way trying to tell this public that everything was fine until this new bind came into place? That there was, I mean, like you were seen as their leader, and there were no internal conflicts until this thing happened, until this new bind came into effect.
Not
Is that
just
what you're
that.
trying to tell us?
Not just that. I said it the other time. All happened after 2020. All right. When I was elected by all of the existing institutions in this country, wherein we got, our constitution says the higher decision making body within the motorcycle sector is the General Assembly. And the General Assembly comprises of the National Executive Committee. It comprises of the 15 county coordinators and the board of directors. So when we all gather, that body, whenever we make decisions, it becomes binding. So John Kenyon or one leader will not just wake up and make decisions. But since after the major election 2020, when, like I said, I refused to pledge support to one of the candidates who were contesting on a coalition ticket, there where my whole problem started into the leadership. But at the time, and even up to now, I still enjoy the confidence of the entire structure. That just few persons who believe that they are from the angle of the past regime, so they will not want to recognize me. They will not want to work with me because they
Thank
are from
you,
the
Mr.
past regime.
Keon.
Just few. But the entire sector, you
My
live when
question
you're
is
going all of the
answered.
countries, people will tell you John Kenyon is who we elected
Thank you.
legitimately.
Sorry.
So we are asking two questions, not three.
Two for now.
Rudolph, maybe you'll make a
There's
comeback.
double
Thank
up.
you. Thank you, John King. I think
What was that?
you
Nelson, you tripping back there? Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
I think it is a good thing that one should be governed by a law. And John, let me tell you this. Not everybody will agree to you. You are dealing with three separate group of people. You're dealing with sedition, you're dealing with unity partisan, and you're dealing with people who have independent mind. And the issue about the gullibility of our society is not only restricted to ordinary people. Motorcyclists are involved. So my question is, what are you doing in regards to the issue of information management, especially basic meeting that you will have? Because there's an issue in Liberia, especially for the motorcyclists. Motorcyclists are united in the form and manner. If they hear that criminal is here or something is happening here, they will investigate. They're gonna run with it. You're gonna see them in that crowd running. So what are you doing as regard to information management? Informing your
So
people on a daily basis on some of the things that are happening.
what we've done over the past time is that we were able to organize our own social media platform. And so whenever we want to release information as related to the sector, I can easily go to our platform and then just send information. The 15 counties, every leader will see it. And the other day I made a request to this platform that asking the management to please allow us as leaders to form part of this platform so as to be able to continue to strengthen our information sharing, let people understand how the sector works and what are some of the programs, what are the visions, what are the mission plan that we have for the sector. But the new rider who is coming today do not understand. So when it comes to information, we always deal with the leadership, and sometimes we go from parking station to parking station to discuss issues relative to the motorcycle sector. And that's what we normally do. But when it comes to information, especially when in motorcycle, one of the things we did once upon a time, I came up with a statement that I went on ELBC and I said, if any motorcyclist will be caught wherein there's an accident, you just go there, you pick up any substance to cause riot, you will be arrested and you will be dealt with according to the law. You know how I was insulted? There were some guys who believe that that is their only means of engaging issue. And also they insulted me, they said a lot. But as a leader, I stood up a frame, and today it is not happening like it used to be.
Thank you.
So
To my second question, there are this saying out there, whether from people who support you or not, that the issue about taking bread from on people's table is maybe most of them concerned as related to the restriction that is coming. But when I listen to you, I want to believe that the government have some consideration on some of the suggestions you're making. Basically, people riding on various crew intern and part of some places that you suggested to them, but they should be helmet and have uniform. And some of those concerned not really looking at the crime increase about motorcycle not being restricted. I have been a victim of motorcycle being reckless when it comes to the issue about using back to criminally, handle people out or to do criminal act. So what is your reaction to people who just looking at the issue from just putting bread on the table and not looking at the crime aspect and the increase of accident? What is your reaction? What do you say to them?
We will continue to appeal to their consciences, right? But what we as a leadership we stand firm on, and we will not compromise, is that when people refuse to understand that there should be public safety, and we always say this to them, the commuters you take from one point to another. If somebody entrusts you with their life to take them from one point to another, your duty is to protect the life of that person. So we remain committed and we remain uncompromised to making sure that this sector is well structured in a way that people will admire. Just like I said on my official Facebook page, people should just give us a time, few months or a year from now, and see how we want the sector to be. But this is my demand. It is not just about restricting the people, but I am saying, and we continue to say, we are negotiating also with the Ministry of Transport and that of the government in general, that they should stand up firm to making sure that the system want to put into place to keep security. Because let me be very frank to tell you, anybody can easily use motorcycle to commit a crime in the society and get wrong anywhere, and everybody will take the blame. But when we have our cyclists, the uniform, wherein you will see a man riding a helmet, is number, the jacket is number, the motorcycle is also number, the keke is number, and we have that numbering system in our database. I tell you for free, if you can even leave from here, you go Maryland, you go wherever, you cause harm there, or you cause any problem, you will be apprehended. But to bring that system into place, I know there will be challenges, there will be difficulties. but we remain focused to making sure that the public is safe. And it is my responsibility as a president to work with my co-op officers and the government to making sure that there's safety. Because, like I said, those who are our employers, those who take off from one point to another, people need to realize that. All right. So we remain uncompromised, my dear brother. We will not give up, even if I will be insulted. Like I said during the discussion with the police director, I said, you know that my own people are insulting me and saying a lot of things. Some of them, not all, though, because thousands of people that we govern, to see just 50 or 60 of them insulting me, I'm not moved by that, right? Because as a leader, hey, this is what I chose to do. If I never wanted to be insulted, then there was no need for me to accept. But we will remain uncompromised. We will make sure systems that need to be put into place for everybody to follow will be put into place no matter what.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Yeah, Maggie, are you there?
So, John, let me ask you one question. Can you hear me?
I am. I'm hearing you.
Did you at any point in time protest against this no-go zone? Did you lead a protest against no-go zone restriction?
Not at all. This is what I did.
Is it?
This is what I did.
Okay.
This is what I did. During the Ellen Lair administration, I was the chairman for Duboro Junction Duboro Motorcyclist. I was also elected as a chairman. So there I started from. I talked about it the other day. There was a spray of motorbike, and the pin that was being used on the motorcycles was a substandard paint. And when you spray your bike, in less than 3 months, your bike is damaged. All right. So at the time we said no, you cannot paint or make bike using substandard paint that people use on the house. It was the bike the paint you use on the house is not meant for the bike. So that was one of the advocates. And another thing, even this regime, when the police came out that because of the numerous of accidents, they want to carry on restriction, like I said, on the Somalia Drive or ERW Highway in Central Monrovia. I said it. We went to them and we disagreed. But our disagreement, it is always in a positive aspect. We always proffer our own recommendation as to how it should be done. And so this is how we are work. So coming from riding motorbike, serving as chairman, serving as coordinator, and today I was elected as a president. So we understand the working of the sector. That's the reason why we are here.
Thank you very much. Amy, you there? You still have a question you want to throw in?
Yeah, but I have more of my question was
have
mostly
we
to
had
the
the
guy on the
questions
phone.
coming from across now?
Do you still have that guy on the phone?
Can you guys hear me?
I think the guy making comment in the comment section so you can pin the comment.
Francis, can you hear me?
No, that's Harris.
Oh, okay.
Hello? Oh, Nelson, we can't hear you again.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we
John,
can't
can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
But can you hear us? Nelson?
Okay, so Emmy, if you're there, you can take over, Emmy.
Okay, so since the guy is not on the phone, I'll ask you, Mr. Kenyon, like you writer said earlier,
Francis?
people are.
Okay, so Francis, you can take over because there seems to be a little connection issue from my end.
Ami is already here. Ami is already.
Ami is in charge.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing her.
Why can't he hear me?
Okay.
So since you rather said already that people are misleading the public and things, because I heard when you came here, you told us that, and we heard from the IG something that there was just certain area that were restricted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we hear people saying, "Oh, they're taking bread from people's table. They're taking bread from people's table." Why are people saying that though? As if the IG told them there was no more motorbike allowed in Liberia. How is that taking bread from people's table? And why you think people are using that?
It is just to gain some public relevance, and maybe they want to do it to make this government unpopular. All right, and there they are mistaken, because making your government unpopular will also not bring development. All right, and I always say this, as a leader and as a direct representation of cyclists, it is our responsibility to work with every government that come into power. But guess what? We will have disagreements. We will have disagreements. But our disagreement will never push some of us. I'm a patriotic citizen. I love my country. I will never allow this country to be dragged to where international community or other international partners will be afraid to come to invest. But people fail to realize in this country that country come first. They do these things to be seen as, oh yeah, I'm the hero. Whenever I say things like what I was just talking about, the lawmaker. I
So
think what it should be, yeah.
that's why I really wish the guy was on the phone, because I wanted to ask him that all of these lawlessness that they are carrying on or doing, is that going to help them, or do they think these guys that using them, politician or whatever, if they really do care about them, or they doing it for their own? Something I really want to hear
But
your
that,
answer. But
yeah, my dear sister, what I can safely say is that, like I said, our decision is uncompromised, because it is for the better good of the country. I tire seeing some of our guys uh, dying just the way it happened, recklessly. All right. We want our people to be trained, and we want a complete system. If they pass with jihadism, then we're not discussing this. All right. But this is where we are, and this is Liberia. And so I am also calling on this regime. What we are doing, when we say we want to make or put into place system, no matter the number of insults we will receive, as long as it is for the better good of the majority, we should stand firm to making sure that that system is put into place, because we will be remembered by whatever we do today while we are in the service. So it is only going to affect a few guys who do not want to adhere to whatever public safety measures that will be put into place, and that is intended for the better good of the public and even for the motorcyclists. There's one of the things we discussed with the Liberia National Police. We've received numerous of calls and complaints from our cyclists that people normally take them to some areas, unknown destination, and they take away their bikes. And so one of the things we are working behind the scene is identifying some of those places that the motorcyclists themselves are telling us that when they take their bike away from them, they normally take it to those places, and then they take money from them and we extort money from them before getting their bikes. So we discuss some of those things with the LMP as to how we can collectively work to wage war on those people who are in the habit of doing that.
thank you, Mr.
These are
Kim,
some of the
because
things.
I think that is very important, and I don't think they're understanding this is part of that safety as well. Because, like you said, by you guys being uniformed and other things will help somebody, because I'm pretty sure everybody that are in the street are not just people just get up and just jump in the street today and they become a rider or whatever. So, and that's why some people, and they right the passenger don't know that, right? They're just standing there waiting for a bike. If somebody jump in the street today, I'm extremely afraid of bikes. When I came there, I couldn't even get on anyone. The way I grabbed the boy or whatever pieces, I would go now. So imagine me, like I don't know, somebody don't know how to ride, and then I jump, but I don't know whether if he knows how to ride or not. Others know. I see a motorcycle coming, and I gotta get on one, right? And that's what happening to the passenger, and that's how they're getting hurt and killed. So this is very important that you guys really come up with a system, with a uniform system, and everything to identify these people, and it will also save their names as well, because everything is just motorcyclists. Even a criminal get on bikes and do something like that, and they see another some motorcyclists doing a different thing. They start to beat them all of them. So it's a good thing for everybody. But I don't know this rebellion behavior that is in us as a country. We want change, we want development, but no, we don't want to do those things that will get us there. We always want it easy, free or easy, and it doesn't work like that. And I don't think being rebellious to a government and say, "Oh, we're not doing allowing a politician to use it as the best way to go." So yeah, I will let my the other guys come in
So,
to go.
so
So
one of the thing we discussed with LMP in past time, uh, the police used to issue ticket, right, for violation, around $50, $30 US for violation. But during our recent negotiation, our discussion behind the scene, we concluded that since the highest report for motorcycle is around 1,000, 2,000, no police officer should give a motorcycle rider a ticket for violation above that same amount. So these are some of the things we're discussing. But one of these days, people will understand that and what we are doing in the best interest. But like I said, not every motorcyclist, I will not sit on this platform to
yeah,
uh
we know.
yeah. So I just few guys
Go
who've
ahead,
been
Ruben.
influenced by blue politicians, just for political reasons. But it will not help them anyway.
Come here, Ruler, if you want. Then Francis will ask.
Thank you, Mr. Kayon. I mean, from every indication is, I mean, it shows that you are very passionate about this thing. Because I mean, it seems like if we just like you to tell you were just talking about this sector from now to the show. But my thing is, can you tell us when were you elected and for how long? Because I know that every association, when they having like elections, like they have terms. So how long were you elected for?
So for the first time I was elected, because since it was the first administration, I was elected for the first 2 years,
Hmm. And that was
and
when
then
2018.
that was 2018, and
2018. Okay.
subsequently 2019, February 16, I was inducted into office, and we'll have almost all of the stakeholders in government and all international partners present at our induction ceremony. And so the next election we had was 2021, 2021, October 8th. All right. And so, according to our constitution, the next election should go for 5 years.
Oh, 5 years. Okay.
Yeah, for the second election. So
Okay,
that's how it
that
was.
was my question.
Do you have any question, Francis?
No, I don't have any question actually.
Sorry.
I don't really had a question, but I had a comment to question him through. As a leader, everything will throw back on you, right? So, like I said from the previous stage, the your fault has been undermined by political actors, especially reckless politicians who doesn't know what they should do for the masses out there. And I want to say in another sense that your political refusal in the past it is the one behind you currently now. But now many of us who have traveled the Liberia and not just suggest our understanding to just the Liberian mentality or narrative, you will try to understand that every country runs with systems. And that system is guided by law. Why is it people don't want for a nation to be guided by law. The issue about regulation needs to stop. So, Mr. King, you had a very huge force to carry on, but you have to play that leadership role. Do not go for just anybody who will call you any names. And I mean, you have to work with everybody across the board to get this thing done. Because I understand that there is some level of exception to your recommendation that you made to the police. And I think other motorcyclists to take it in good faith. The issue about information too, you should make it more proactive, not just on your Facebook page, but I mean, engage the media, engage other radio station as to getting the information out there. Because motorcyclists they are always being carried by women. So that was what I wanted to tell you.
I
Yeah,
have
so
one last question though.
we have engaged several media platforms. Just recently, I was on ELBC and OKFM, and so we've been doing that. So, and we committed to doing so. Like I said, we also have the federation have a social media platform. We always go there and place information there, and so we will continue to do that. And we also do parking lot engagement. Just last week Saturday, I called a meeting for all the leaders in the 17 districts in Montserrat, and there was a meeting. I explained to them in detail as to the police decision when it comes to this restriction, and so they asked numerous of questions, and I make them the understand. And they all agree that, Mr. President, putting the system into place, we think it is the best thing. But like I always said, Liberia is just a country wherein some people don't just want to be governed by law. So, but what we can do as a leader is to always stand up strong when we come up and to make laws or to implement laws that are in the best interest of the general public.
So, Emmy, can I ask my last question? I beg you, my very last question, please. Can I go ahead? So, Mr. Kenyon, I mean, you have asked. I mean, asked him to be corrected, but I heard you asking Nelson that you want to be to be a panelist on this platform, correct?
Definitely.
Okay, good. So, for the fact that you have been criticized and you have been accused of playing politics with the union, and on this show, I mean, it just I think this might be our first time or second time talking about this whole issue about motorbike. We always come here to talk about the politics of the country. How do you expect yourself to be on this platform as a panelist and staying neutral so that your allegation that they already accusing you cannot not intensify?
Well, doing political citizens, every citizen constitutionally has the right to freely associate or affiliate with whatever political party of your choice. But like I said in Ametin, we are into governance now. We are not into any election.
Mm-hmm.
When there is time to govern, we govern. And as you may be aware, we control thousands of people across the country. So we are stakeholders. That's the reason why our Ministry of Transport is taking a decision.
I say you are hearing cross section of people from different political parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah, so the first thing here is that I do not deal with people because you are from this party. I have no history of that. And I challenge anybody to come up with evidence to say, because I'm from this party, Mr. Kenyon marginalized me because of that. I challenge anybody within the motorcycle sector or outside the motorcycle sector. I have, over the years, defended our sector, and I always say motorcycle sector. And sometimes when I go on the radio, people accuse me, Mr. Kenyon, when you take the platform, you always just advocate for motorcyclists, and you forget to know that other people who ride with the riders, they need protection and all of that. All right? So we will maintain our neutrality here when we are given the opportunity. But remember, I will always try to also bring to you guys, to the general public, some developments when it comes to the motorcycle sector, motorcycle and tricycle sector. So, but when it comes to political engagement, no, we are not into politics. So the issue of neutrality, I strongly believe in that, and the platform is guided by rules and regulation. So definitely, we are going to work by the rules and regulations that govern this platform, and that's what we're going to do.
I mean, this
Thank you.
platform doesn't
So,
ask you to take
um,
to be. I mean, to be neutral. You can take side if you want to. So there is no rule that subjects you to be neutral on this platform. Just to clear the air.
Yeah. So based on
well,
the topic that we're going to
that's
discussion,
the side he would decide to take. That's what he's telling you, neutral. So,
yeah. So so when it comes to John A.F. Kenyon have his side, and for that, I said it during the election, and thank God exactly follow me in general. The few guys who are murmuring, I'm still a leader, and I remain when they are in problem. Claudius, who was just on the line. When Claudia fell into problem, he was sent to prison. I was the same person who went and signed for Claudia to be free. But
I
today,
really
Claudia
hope
is starting and insulting me.
I really hope
Claudia is
Claudia
insulting
was
me.
on the line because I had a lot of questions for him.
All right.
Because if what you're telling us is true, that they're planning to run into the president, I wanted to ask them, do they know the implication of those things that they're planning? And if
But
they
as for
That was
think
your
they're
that.
not
media,
going
he
to go
is
back,
not supporting the protest. He said it. Yeah, he said he takes side with Kayom. He's not supporting the protest. He said it.
Yeah, he said that.
But
I-
from his statement, you get to understand that sometimes they will come on a platform, but behind the scene is on the other way.
The main only issue is that he
so,
doesn't seem recognize John as his leader. That was it.
so
But
I
the thing,
think
Joking, will go and bring yourself.
so. I wanted to you're not made me lose my title. And the question I wanted to ask. I really, um, yeah. So, what was I gonna ask? What was I gonna ask? Okay, so sorry if you have something to say. Go ahead. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Sorry, Amy.
Go
You
ahead.
said you
Sorry.
wanted to ask the brother who are on the line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did, but like I said, he doesn't support
I mean,
the protest.
yeah, you
And
said you wanted to ask the brother on the line. So that brother is like he said he's an advocate.
sorry, can
But
you hear me?
yeah, he said he's an
I
advocate.
already
And one
heard
of the
him.
things I didn't actually grab is you as an advocate. You do not want to be logical to certain things. That which brings me to understanding that I think they are the one undermining this whole process. Because you
Yeah.
cannot say you advocating and don't want to accept certain logical things.
But the thing about it is that I understand people. You can have your belief, you can have your side, whatever. But if you are being governed in a country by serious and responsible government, they will tell you something. All you can do is to negotiate with them. But you don't rebel and say, "Oh, we're not going to take it. We're not going to do it." There, I mean, consequences that would be taken. Okay, that would be good. So I don't know what makes them think that they can just get in the street and just disrupt everybody's life. That's not gonna happen. Don't let Yaka Korba or whoever Foko, whatever his name is, lie to you because you have your right to protest as a citizen. Peacefully protest. And not sending other people infringing other people's rights or go destroying people's property. They say, oh, when any car come here, whether we break it. Oh no, sweetheart. If the police are not in, that will bring the AFS out. You cannot disrupt the country because you don't want to follow rules and law in the country. That's not how it works. You think if they get out right now and people that are harming motorcyclists, they tell those people then that you're not allowed to do their motorcyclists have rights, they have lights. This is the plan we put in place right now. Should those people come out as well and say we're not doing it, we'll continue to harm them, and everybody should allow them to go with it? No, you can't run a country like that. And the government make law all the safety something, and then somebody, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Then they allow it to stand. Oh, they don't want to do it. They're leading. Where do you see that happening? So they're going about it the wrong way, letting these politicians in, lawmaker, who doesn't know his function anymore and want to be relevant. He don't want to deal with his small guy issue. He want to come and be jumping in something to make himself whatever. They're getting it wrong. If he's trying to cover that small guy issue, it's not going anywhere. I'm sorry. Okay,
Thank you.
and then God say I'm nobody, then he come after me and gonna cost me because I'll be that friend that nobody. You got to go back on the line, Nelson, because this is
So
ridiculous.
so
For
so he's not.
politicians to be using things like that, and then people, and then for you to allow politicians to be using you to do stuff like that, and you think they're there for you. No, they're not there for you. They have their own issue. They're using you. Until you can get that in
So
your head in Liberia, we're not going anywhere.
so Claudia is not coming back. So can we have John to do his closing? Then we all just do our closing.
So
John,
yes,
John, are you
yeah, I'm there. So once again, Nelson and everyone here, very soon by the grace of God, we get used to the names. But I'm actually happy that you have me on this platform, that we can be able to discuss issues of our sector. But one thing I will always say is that I'm a team that this decision is uncompromised. No number of insults will deter our decision because the issue of public safety is very important.
yeah.
I said to the police that, one of the guys, when we were into the meeting, one of the guys said, John, do you know because of this, the next election, if possible, maybe your people will not want to vote you? I said, even if they not vote me, the fact that I will be remembered that under John administration, during John's administration, the entire motorcycle and tricycle sector was uniform. And there is a complete system. This is what I want to see. It's not about whether somebody will praise me or not. What we are doing right now is for the better good of our country. When people leaving their home in the morning, they are not going to the street to die. They never go in the street with the intent of dying. But sometimes recklessness lead them to their untimely death. So we should put into place measures to protect people who normally ride motorcycle to go from one point to another, so as to be able to keep our society safe. So as a leader, once again, I want to say to all of you, join us in this endeavor, pushing the agenda for transformation for the motorcycle and tricycle sector. Because there are other platforms that the Freedom FM, they're running with this thing as if we are taking food from the table, and they're taking they're stopping all the bike from running. They're stopping all the bike from running. People cannot just mislead the public, but they are doing that only because they feel that that platform is being supported by somebody in the past regime. But forgetting to know that using that platform to mislead the public has a propensity to undermine the peace that we enjoy. So as a motorcyclist leader and tricyclist leader, we want to call on them to please stop what they are doing by misleading the public. And I want this platform that is widely listened to, both in Liberia and out of Liberia, to join us in propagating the message relative to this restriction and how we can work together to keeping our society safe. So once again, I'm happy. Nelson, thank you so much for having me. And thanks to all of you panelists for all of the beautiful questions and comments. We remain open to whatever discussion surrounding our sector and to making sure that we have Liberia a peaceful place. I know people will not appreciate us this time, but tomorrow we will be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thanks a lot.
So Nelson, my request, I hope you guys are working on it.
What was the request?
Well, there you go.
Okay, so if it is something we have to discuss
yeah.
behind the scene, then we can do that.
Yeah, so Nelson, you have to discuss behind the scene.
Okay.
The fact that I'm a strong follower of this spoon. I'm a strong follower. Every night I listen. Sometimes I have sleep at night just following this platform. So I'll be happy to form part of it.
So yeah,
Thank you.
so we're discussing the background and we'll get back to you, sir. But thank you again.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Emmy, I think we can do our closing now, Emmy.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Well, thank you to our guests, to the viewer. I think we didn't take color today because of some technical in the voice of some other technical glitch. But I think it was a good show, fair analysis. The issue about Liberia, like bro, and I've made progress in certain sector is the issue of leaders not identifying their responsibility. Especially this statement goes to the lives of Safuko and that of Yege Koluba, who think he could just stand anywhere to make statement. When I saw that brother directing Motorcyclist today, wanting to be violent, something came to my mind. I understand that uh, there are certain people who have to get rid of, and that's last in the hands of a voter. But I think it was a good show. The issue about the discussion surrounding the statement or the post from Musa Billy, I think it should be a consistent advocate so we can see some level of, because there's the issue about Liberia where you see people just take things and put it on their platform, just talk about it a few times, and the practical aspect of it has not been coming to fruition. So we think political statements should not always just be political. That's some sincerity bring in it, because that house of representative, especially the lower house, has been, Musa used a very strong word, a portion,
Contaminated.
the aspect I have to do with money laundering. No,
Oh.
money laundering. I mean, it's a very strong word, but people don't know how that horse has been used to corrupt the Liberian people. So the guys use power to, I mean, laws and others to empower themselves with pay. The issue about doing the people job again is not being sincere. So it's disheartening in some way, but I think it was a good show, Nation. Thanks for having all you, and I think we will be back at tomorrow again to discuss the issue of the Liberian people.
Go ahead, Rula.
Yes, I mean, for the two times that I have listened to Brother John, I know Kayon or Koyon, and the two other guys that have joined him on this platform, I mean, maintain that there is some internal conflicts, and I mean, there is a need for the board, the leaders to come together and find an amicable way to solve it. So, with regards to the issue of Mr. Billetti's letter, again, I support it 100%. I think he was being honest. Even if, I mean, one may say that he is cloud chasing or he is trying to gain relevance. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't hurt us in any way if he is gaining relevance by speaking the truth. It doesn't hurt us in any way, so I support that. And I will maintain again also that we cannot put this, we cannot not pin this on the president by saying that he should go public and blast the house to be audited. I mean, that is not his jurisdiction. We understand that people may say he is the loudest voice and his voice has power, granted, but but it is too early for him to start to stir tension between him and the house, because for him to succeed he needs them. I am calling on the public, the Liberian people. It is now in your hands. I mean, you have heard what you had what you were waiting to hear from Musa. He told you that there are lots of terrible things going on in there and they need to be audited. We ask that other lawmakers should join their voices to him, and the people should petition their lawmakers to listen to him and join him. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, it was good to be here. It's good to be here as always, So today we did not get to touch on a whole lot, but I'm glad our brothers were able to come back, the motorcyclists. But for me, I still have reservation about that organization, the way they behave. They put their lives and the lives of other pedestrians at risk, and also cause sometimes damage to people's properties, vehicles, and other things. So they need to be very, very well organized and very restricted while they're applying the streets because we've seen what happens when you hit them or when they hit you. It's like double jeopardy. Group of them coming around to attack people, or sometimes people get severely hurt and a loss of life occur. So they need to be very careful, and they need to be monitored and supervised appropriately by the MP. The next thing, we talk about President Barker. Yes, I said President Barker has a lot of microphone in the country. He need to use it, and we don't have time to play the whole, let him wait for 4 years into his administration. Anything he thinks that's impacting the lives of the Liberian people, he should address it now, regardless of who it will hurt. Nobody's saying that he has jurisdiction over the lawmakers, but he can also influence change by going directly to the Liberian people who hire those lawmakers to pressure them into doing what is right. Another thing, he needs to speak up more on things that are affecting the Liberian people. Example, the fire situation. Example, Jessica Lloyd. There are a whole bunch of things that have been going on since he took office, and he's been silent. It's like he called a speech from the Liberian people, but he needs to speak up. He can walk and chew gum at the same time. And then this latest appointment of that Senegalese, we talk about a lot of people don't have jobs, they're kicking people out of positions, rightfully so. Those people that were piled up on the list that don't deserve to be there, remove them. But you can't pay a foreign national, hire a foreign national as an ambassador for youth and sport, and he's going to be making no less than $7,000 or $8,000 like every other government appointees. And then you have your citizens hungry or going without pay. That is one of the most ridiculous things. I know some people say, "Oh, George Weah government did the same thing with other positions," but we don't care for the George Weah government. We know that he was incompetent, so we expect that from George Weah. But the most disappointing, frustrating thing is President Barker doing similar thing to what George Weah did. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Francis. I wasn't here from the beginning, but yeah, I also saw that news today, and I was disturbed by it because I feel like if we need former footballer, we got a lot of them in the country who has no job. They could have used that. You have to. No one's saying that you shouldn't hire foreigner, but in a high positions like that, you need your own people first. You had a lot of people in the country, like you rightly said, that don't have any jobs. You can't go outside and go be bringing, regardless of whatever connection they have with whoever. I don't like that, and I don't think that is fair to those Liberian former footballers who are in the country. If that was the qualification that you're looking for, okay. So with this whole motorcyclist thing, and I think I really hope that they would take, sometimes when the soup boys from LU used to be protesting, I like that. They said we don't want any politician among us to come and find, to come create, looking for their own cloud, chasing thing, and want to use our movement and bring power. We don't want any politician among us. I admire that. So if a bunch of seditious get together, or the guys that took side with the other seditious to want to create chaos, and you get caught up, I think he a sedition now. Just because you're a lawmaker and you break certain rules, I don't know how Liberia works. Goodness, it hurt my head because I don't know how a lawmaker can think he has the right to do stuff like that and there's no consequence or whatever in Liberia. I don't understand it, because that is not the role of, and people coming all the time talking, oh, they're taking food from people's table. They need to stop that. Even on our own spoon here, people say that. And I was confused, like, how is this taking food from people's table when all they're telling you is you can't go to point B anymore, stay on point C, then the other side and whatever. How is that? How are we talking about change? We want change. Whatever the government, we want development. We want a companies to come in. We want investors to. How is this going to bring any investor with all these? Like I said, and I will keep saying that I went to Liberia and it looks like I was in the zoo where everybody just doing their own thing on the street, on the road. motorcycle, like everywhere between every car is doing like, it was scary for me. Okay, it's not safe. And not only that, for me seeing the outcome accident and all of that, this is a good thing for them too as well, because if they are well in order and well uniformed and everything, at least like people will say, we will know the sheep from the goats. Everything will not just be, oh, it was motorcycle. People will know there are criminals who are, perpetrating these crimes, and acting like motorcyclists. So I don't know why they're trying to involve politics into this. Regardless, how is it politics? Even if John Kenyan supported Ambassador Bwaka, the ban does not say sedition cannot ride this way. It should only be Unity Party. They said all bike riders cannot go certain place. They don't care whether you're United Party or sedition or whatever, something. So I don't know why they're playing politics out of this and say, oh, this person do this and do that and do that. Even the cleaning the voter, I mean the payroll. People come in and make it out of, oh, you taking food out of people, you taking, how is that taking food out of people, my Liberian people? We need to be serious about development. We need to be serious about change. Change is not easy. People will get hurt. Some people, but it should, at the end, it should just be for the greater good for everybody in the country. That's all. And we have to take some hard decision. You vote us for the man for change. But when he take the other step, oh, everybody jump in the street. They make the other decision, everybody jump in the street. They do the way everybody. So what they want him to do? They voted for him so it can be business as usual. Everything can still be running the same way in chaos. Then what was the point? It does not make any sense to me. And I really hope our people will something that any people will stop letting people that don't know their jobs to keep using them to do their bidding for them. Because I don't know the others do like that, but we all know what he's chasing. And the other one, I'm probably sure that politics he playing and something in Yaka Koloba, he's there trying to show himself, trying to make up for this bad cloud over him a few times. They're insulting her enough. No more he want to make up by joining somebody to act like he's advocating. What about those people houses that are being burned down in your district, huh? Maybe you should go and sit with them. You should go and beg those people to give them some more time. Maybe you should. Those are things that you ought to be running after. Not acting like a lunatic in the street and calling yourself a lawmaker. Sadly, Liberian people have figured you out, and nobody's going to vote for you next time. So I don't know what kind of popularity you're looking for or what kind of relevance are you looking for. Very, very dangerous for our country. And I mean, if you're breaking the law, you're going to get the consequences that come before after that, because they will not just let you go protest peacefully, and that should be good. But for you to be making jump in the president convoy and then break any cars that come your way, that is just crazy. For you to want to think somebody care for you, they're telling you to do something like that. If you do it, trust me. If you think the police are not in other words, send for backup. Because if they allow you to get away with it, John Brown will want to come and do their own too. And that is unacceptable. So we can't have that happening in the country. If there's a ban, there's a law, we can also not cuss in the country when something happens, when they put a law up, we all talk about it and something whether we like it or not, but at the end of the day, we gotta abide by it. That's what the government says. So I hope people will know in our country to know that you have to live by the law. Everybody you can't just be doing your own thing everywhere and expect the country to develop or expect an investor to come in and give you. The government is not going to. Maybe you need to do the right thing for investors to come in for you to get off that bike to be able to do something better for your family. Yeah, we closing so you can do something for your family. Okay, so I think this is very, very disturbing. That made me lose my tongue. I let y'all talk and learn your whole something here, but every time you want to disturb me, and now I lost my tongue. And this is very disrespectful, guys. I think we should stop it because we are only 3 years, and I let you to learn your tongue before I even say something. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say because I already finished losing my string of talk. Thank you. Now see you there.
Thank you, guys. Merci para yo. But guys, thank you. I got to go. We'll be here
Exactly.
tomorrow,
You gotta
same
leave
time,
us
same
here.
station. Good night, guys.
Let's let me call
Okay, we're
Nelson.
planning something.
Sorry. I don't know what Nelson's
Yeah.
gonna be in today.
I mean, can you hear me?
Thank God you're back. Can
Yeah,
you
we
hear
hearing you.
us?
Okay, yeah, sure. I want to say thank you, Emmy, and thanks to all of our folks out there, and thanks to you, Soiree. Thanks to everyone who have been holding on. And we look forward to being here tomorrow with another great show. We will hopefully have a guest on to talk about something very interesting. Until then, I want to say thanks to everyone. It's been a good show so far, and bye bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
we still haven't sent me your number yet to put on and stuff. Just so you know.